All right, all right, all right, all right. Greetings, 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 family, friends, and the world. This is Mikael, Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. How is everyone doing on this beautiful night? This is the night after Monday, which we're in the night now. So this is the night after the day of September 17th, 2025. This is the night after, which is 9 p.m., a little after 9 p.m., after November 17th, I'm my bad, November 17th, 2025. And this is Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. Just wanted to come here and share a little information with you. Sit back, chill out, come and share some information. This is the as on Mondays, we come with some knowledge of information that people may need to know or may need to check out or just may need to work research on. So don't know what I'm going to speak on tonight. I always let the creator bring the topic up when I don't know what I'm going to speak on. Sometimes I have things to speak on. Sometimes I don't. I don't. It all depends what the creator brings out, as I always say. Oh, what's going on with these babies? So, oh, I'm upstairs, so I got a little heater on. So, other than that, we're gonna start off with our prayer, and then we're gonna go on to see what we're gonna speak on for tonight. Other than that, blessed be thou, Father of the universe, that bring forth all living creatures forth from the earth. Blessed be thou, Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Blessed be the Father of Israel. Blessed be the Father of 12 tribes of Israel. Thank you, Father, for all you've done, been doing, and plan to do. We ask you to keep giving us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, life, health, and strength, food, shelter, and clothing. Let us be happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, and prosperous in all that we do. We ask you to keep leading and guiding us so we can help leading and guiding others in your knowledge, your word, your ruach, and your way. We ask you to keep us and keep your armor protection on us. Help us in every way. Lead and guide us so we can help lead and guide others and allow us to follow you, your law, your ruach, and your will. We ask you to help us in every way, Father. And also, Father, we ask you to forgive us of the sins that we, our ancestors, and our forefathers have done in time past, today's time, and time to come. We ask you to forgive us, forgive them, that the things we have done was ignorant in your sight. We trespass against you, and you've also trespassed against us. So this is the reason why we're in the position we're in today. And as we're coming out of them, and as you enlighten those who seek your will in your way, we ask you to keep enlightening us that we can all seek your way and do your will. We ask you to lift the spirit of deep sleep off from among us, that we may walk in your glorious light, which is your law, and in the spirit of the law. We thank you, Father, for all you've done, been doing, and plan to do. We also ask you to help us in every way, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, financial, or spiritual. In all these things we pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise you, Almighty. Thank you, Father. All right. What's going on, family, friends, in the world? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Clifton Young, my boy Cliff. What's up, man? I'm glad to see you on tonight out there in Mississippi. One of my boys on tonight. Oh, yeah, we got a lot of things going on. A lot of things are happening. It's a lot of things I've come across and come to share. It's a lot of things that's going on in this day and time. According to history, a lot of things are going on in this day and time according to history. A lot of people don't know, nor do they understand. Maybe that's what I'll probably give up. That's just history just hit my mind right then when I said according to history. So I'm gonna give some information tonight according to history, right? All right. Hold on. I know who this may be, but let me get a pause on it real quick. All right, it's my
I'm gonna change the name.
please do, bro. That way I can see and know who's coming in because a lot of time I get these trolls, and that's the reason why my last YouTube got not only banned, they what they called it when they terminated it. So me letting certain people in, I just like there we go, there we go. That's what I like. Now it's my brother Barack, a strong brother in the information and stuff that we're doing and we're sharing today. Now just before Barack came in, my brother Barack, not Barack Obama neither. This is a true brother named Barack. And it's a lot of things that's going on that people need to know. So history came across my mind right after I got done with the prayer. And as I was just about to say something, then my brother Barack came in. History hit me. So I'm gonna share some information about things that I have learned, I've read, I've researched, and I've come to know. And I would like to give some people some homework today. Homework. So there's a lot of things I share, but people tend not to take the things I share serious. Okay. Right. Mm. Everything I had some stuff printed out, but everything didn't come out. So everything that I wanted to come out didn't come out, but some of it did. One of the things that I wanted to share did come out. But history, this is something I want y'all to check out. First thing in history, I'm gonna start off with, and what I wanted to speak on is in here because I was going to share with everybody Adam Weishaupt. Everyone needs to study. It's a Caucasian named Adam Weishaupt. Now, the information has been kind of altered, as far as I'm concerned, since the time passed. That back in the '90s, late '90s, when I was in Mississippi, as I just shared my life story, question and answer, the life of Mikael, question and answer. Yesterday, I finished it up until where I am now, back in Detroit. From leaving Detroit, going to Mississippi, from leaving Detroit, going to Germany, going to Mississippi, going to Atlanta, then back home. So I just finished that last night on Fight Fire with Truth, and I did I guess you could say it was 8 weeks of it because I got up to 17, and 18, which was now next week we'll probably be asking question and answers from that. So if anybody go and check those out on YouTube, you can check those out, and then we can come back and we can follow up with questions and answers or information that you may want to know about my life. That I plan to do a story or a book, or maybe a movie on in the future. You know, to share about the things I went through to come to where I'm at and to help people in this day and time and where we're going. But other than that, it's a lot of things that has happened and that's going on today that people are unaware of. The Great Awakening is happening now. But in the Great Awakening, we have to understand where we came from. That's why we got to understand the past, the present, and the future is which was where we're going. And until we understand the past, you may live to go back through the past if you don't understand it to move on to the future. And all of it is right here in the scriptures. History is in the scriptures, which was prophecy before it happened. After the prophecy came to pass, it became history. A lot of history is in here, but people can't see it. They look at this book as a religious book when this is really a life-telling book from the Creator, whether y'all know it or not. When the Creator said in Genesis 1:1, God created the heaven. Matter of fact, let me read it. Since we're going to go through history, let me go ahead and just do the first day and give you an understanding of the first day. All right. Let me go ahead and just get this right quick because I'm going to go through some things. And if y'all got time to jot some information down or go back over this, because I'm calling this tonight, I'm just going to call it history. History, however y'all want to put it. The only history is this is the Creator's history. It's his story. It's the Creator's story. So a lot of people don't get it, but I have to give you understanding. So we're going to go with the first 5 verses to give you an understanding. So if you don't get it, do your own research. I actually did some posts, which I got to repost since my YouTube got terminated. And I'm going to repost them again. I have done a few clips called Who Do You Follow? Man or Yah? Which now some people call Yah God, but man or Yah. I'm gonna start doing, and I gotta start making more clips because those are short. Since people, really can't stand long, drawn out information, I got to start doing more short so y'all can get it quick, fast, in a hurry, and it goes straight to the point. That's what I got to start doing. I do this so you can get a better understanding drawn out. But we're taking it where we at. So we're going to start right here. We're going to go with the creation, and we're going to go through some history that people don't know about that's according to the Bible, but it's not in the Bible. All right? So I did mention Adam Weishaupt, but we're going to get to that a little later. We're going to get to the New World Order, which is where we at today. We're already in the new, we've been in the New World Order since 1933. People are still looking for the New World Order to come. You've been in the New World Order since Adam Weishaupt and since his family and the Illuminati has taken over the world. Your schooling, ooh, look at me, I'm jumping in, I'm jumping ahead of myself. But since I'm talking, I'm just giving you a heads up before I get there. Woo, see, when Father get to me, boy, I get kind of hyped and I just start rolling. And here I go. Genesis 1:1, the creation. Let me go ahead and break this. I'm gonna give you understanding. I'm give you understanding. All right. I'm gonna give you understanding of history according to the creation and according to everything that has happened. Because the creator seen everything from beginning to end the first day. All right. And it wasn't even the first day, it was the first 1:1. He's seen everything. But let me get it for you first. Because I just, like I said, I didn't know what I was gonna talk about tonight. What's going on? G1, glad you can make it, bro. Here we go. Let's see. Make sure I get to this so when I show it, I can give you an understanding to it. Because I like to give scripture, and you can, if y'all taking notes, take your notes so you can understand what's going on. Because I like to give facts of what I'm sharing with. I'm gonna give y'all history. History, right? Here we go. Hold on. Let me get this last point real quick. And I'm going off the dome. That's what I do. I go off the dome. When the creator give me stuff to speak on, I go from the dome. And when I go from the dome, meaning I go from here, I show you better than I can tell you. So I tell you as I show you, but I show you than just mouthing off at the lips. All right. Let's see. One more verse here. Nope. Trying to make sure I find the right one. So when I come, when I hit 1:1, I'm gonna let you understand. Here you go, right there. Here we go. Genesis chapter 1, starting at the first verse. I'm gonna break the first 5 verses down as I go through. And I'm not gonna go through the whole because everybody know about the beginning and the creation and everything going on. But what I'm going to give you is what happened the first day and the understanding of the first day. The understanding of the first day. As my old teacher said, get wisdom, get knowledge, but in all thy getting, get an understanding. Why? Because understanding will keep thee. I'm about to give you some understanding tonight if you want it. And here we go. Chapter 1, Genesis 1:1, the creation. In the beginning, Yah, God, created the heaven and the earth. Right there, he created everything by thought. He saw everything from beginning to end. Everything he saw in his mind from beginning to end. He saw everything first verse. In the first day, which is the first verse. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to break everything down as we go. And how you know, let's go to Isaiah chapter 46. And we're going to start at verse 9 and 10. Matter of fact, let me I'll start at 8. I'll start at 8, but 10 is your key. Remember this and show yourselves men. Remember this and show yourselves men, right? Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. We are the transgressors. Israel was the one that he gave the law to. We are Israel, the ones who don't know who they are, the ones that call themselves black or NBCs, niggers, blacks, and coloreds. African Americans. That's two continents that was renamed by Caucasians. Africanos and also Americas. You got to look them up. I'm giving you history tonight. I'm giving you homework to do your history on. Look up these words. Look up who Africa is or Africanos is, who conquered Africa, and look up Americas, the guy who conquered America. You got three parts. You got Central America, North America, and South America after Americas. All right? But as it says, remember this and show yourselves men, verse 8, Isaiah 45 and 8. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors, which is Israel. 9. Remember the former things of old, which is the law. See, this is prophecy. This is stuff that has going on and we have forgotten. Remember the former things of old, for I am Yah, I am God, and there is none else. Y'all hear that? I am the creator and there is nothing else. I am Yah, it says God. I am Yah and there is none like me, which is the creator. Right here is your key for 1 and 1. Declaring the end from the beginning. Right there, day 1, verse 1. In the beginning, he created the heavens and the earth. He saw everything, and I'm going to show you how he saw everything in a few moments. When verse 2. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done. You see that? And from the ancient times, things that haven't even been done yet. I'm declaring it. I'm telling you, I'm declaring the end from the beginning, because I'm declaring to you things that haven't even been done yet. The Father's seen everything. That's why we have prophecy. He's seen everything, so he's speaking to his prophets to give it to us in the book so we can read it, see it, and understand what's coming about. That's why the Father has given prophets so we will understand what's going to come in time to come. This whole book is true according to the blessings and according to the curses. The difference is if you don't know the blessings according to the Creator's word, you're in the curse not knowing it. This is what I'm trying to get people to understand. People is living in the curse and they think they live in the truth. They think they live in the truth. But they're in the curse. Why? Because you haven't searched the Creator with your whole heart, your whole mind, and your whole soul. See, when the Creator becomes that to you, then you will be found of the Creator. Because he's going to open your mind up to see his word in this book. I don't care how many books that has been in this book that they say, excuse me, that has been taken out the book. Everything in here is for you to know in this day and time. Everything else is the added plus, but everything you need to know is right here in this book. The need to know. The foundation is right here. Everything else is just added on. You can find out this, find out that, but everything else that the world have in the authorized and the revised King James Version is right here. Why? Because the Creator had it done through, I don't care who you call it, white man, black man, Caucasian, Ethiopians, whatever you want to call it. The truth is here, but you got to see the truth according to, a matter of fact, I want to share something with you. I want to share something. So we're talking about history tonight. I listened to this broadcast on YouTube talking about the Ethiopian book, which is the pure book, right? See, when you know the book, you can hear lies and you can hear discrepancy. I say it's a lie, but I said discrepancy because the Creator said that if you don't keep his law, he's going to send you land that you know not. Then you're going to serve other gods, wood and stone, gods your fathers haven't known. This is fact. This is true because the Creator said it. Now, the fact that even in the Ethiopian, when I was listening to this yesterday, I'm listening to the guy talk about the Ethiopian book, talk about everything in the beginning. It got to a certain point when Jesus was supposed to come. It was this guy. I forgot the name of the man. My wife remembered the name because she said, "You remember? You know this guy? You remember him?" I said, "Well, I can't say I can. I remember hearing the name before, but I can't say I remember everything right off about it, right?" But in the information, I heard this dude say, well, he was kind of like lost a little bit, whatever. And somebody came, and this is hearsay. This is what happened. Somebody came and told him that Jesus was who the Old Testament was talking about. And what he said was, and he believed it wholeheartedly, and he began to spread the information. That was the line that was connected together. That was the cut. I listened very well. See, I study this to know, but I listened very well. So when the Ethiopian book was made and Jesus and whoever that they said that they put in it, it was on hearsay. See, I listen, I study, and I listen. When that dude said, "Oh," and he believed it wholeheartedly, and he started to preach the word of Jesus and this and that, and the Ethiopian book was made and all this, I said, "There you go." Right there. I heard it right then and there. The fact that he said he heard it and he believed it because he was supposed to be the author of the scriptures or whatever, and then he was lost at one point, and then somebody came and told him, well, Jesus was supposed to be, not was, Jesus was the one, the son that came and he sacrificed and did this and that, and I was like, That's why I say you got to know the book. Anybody can come and tell you anything. If you don't know what you know, if you can't stand on what you know, that's the difference I'm talking about. If you can't stand on what you know, you can fall for anything because somebody can throw a trick bag in there and you be like, I can go with the best of them. I'm not saying I'm a scholar and I'm all that, but I can stand with the best of them because of what I know by my studying. What I know, not what I heard, not what I thought, what I know. So I just wanted to share that because situations has been coming up, a lot of things been coming up here and there, and we just got to know because we got to do our study. That's why I'm talking about history tonight. And I don't know, it just came to me as I was speaking, as I was right after I did the prayer, history hit me, then Barack came in. Then I was beginning to get started. I was getting ready to get started the first verse, and then my brother G1 came in, which I'm glad is here tonight as well. But history hit me. So we're gonna be talking about history, and like I said, history is nothing but prophecy, the past of prophecy, or whatever happened that prophecy didn't speak of. So whatever come to pass, first it was prophecy, and it came to pass to be history. And whose history is it? It's the Creator's history. All his history is I just gave it to you right here. I'm gonna read 10 one more time. Matter of fact, 9 and 10. I go with 8, 9, and 10. I'm just going to read it through this time. I'm going to go back to Genesis 1. Remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again. Bring it again to mind. Bring it again to your mind, O ye transgressors. This shows to go to show that's talking about us in this day and time because we transgress the law. O ye transgressors. Remember the former things of old, the things that the Creator said in his law. For I am Yah, and there is none else. I am Yah, and there is none like me. Declaring the end from the beginning. And from ancient times, the things that are not yet done. And from ancient times, things haven't been done yet. Saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Who talking? The Creator talking. That ain't no man talking. That's the man talking. That's the Creator talking through man to put it in the book so we'll know who's talking. So the Creator was speaking right here. This is the Creator speaking and letting it be known. So I just wanted to share that so we'll understand. In the beginning, Yah created the heaven and the earth, and he's seen everything right then and there. Now, the action is beginning. Not the creation. He ain't start creating to day two. He ain't start creating until day two. The actions is beginning now. Let me break it down for you. Verse 2. And the earth was without form and void of understanding. See, that's what's going on today. A lot of people is void of understanding the Creator's word. See, a lot of people think that this was just the beginning of time and there was no creation yet. This is all spiritual right here. People don't understand. This is spiritual. People look at this and think it's the beginning of the beginning. This is the beginning in thought. This is what we're made of. Thought, which is what? He made us in the image of Yah. The image is the imagination in the mind. Your mind is like Yah. Your mind is the imagination. He formed man from the dust, but he made us in the image, the imagination. Everything that we make came from what? An image in the mind. And who's the author of that image? The creator. The creator said it there. It's up to you to do it or somebody else going to end up doing it. Why? Because the energy is in the air. This air and the universe is universal consciousness. We're speaking and living through universal consciousness. This universal consciousness has consciousness in us. That's the reason why we go, the breath of life. And we got some people out here that don't even believe in the creator. They believe in the sun before they believe in the breath of life. They don't even understand universal consciousness. They can stand there and look at a dead body laying down and say, why ain't that man breathing? And can't fathom the breath of life is gone, which is universal consciousness, has gone from the mind and from the life of his body. And this is the sad thing, that people are so ignorant that they can't see. So, I mean, well, I guess a lot of people got a lot of growing to do. Some of us too smart for our own good, ain't they? So, but number 2 says, and the earth was without form. It's talking about the people. The earth was without form and void, and darkness, ignorance. This is darkness. Darkness is ignorance. Darkness was upon the face of the deep. Now, let me give you understanding to that. The darkness was the ignorance. Let me give you something on that as well. Isaiah 60 in 1, 2, and 3. I ain't gonna go to 5 because 5 that pertains to 1 through 5. It all pertains to that, but that talk about the Gentiles and stuff now. But right now, I'm talking about the ignorance. Isaiah 60. I'm giving y'all information. It's up to y'all to write it down. This is called studying. See, people read. I study. Study to show thyself approved. Don't read to show yourself approved. Study to show yourself approved. This is how you show yourself approved unto Yah, unto the Creator, that everybody call God. But anything can be a God. You can bow down to anything, calling it a God. But in Isaiah 68:4, it says, call him by his name. It says Jah, but there's no J in the Hebrew alphabet, so we call him Yah. We recognize him by that. Even though we come to know the name is really YHWH, which we can't pronounce. We can't pronounce those continents. We can't continents or those capital letters, should I say. But to me, his name is his word, because it's the representation of his law. He is his law and his law is him. But let's go back to Isaiah 60. The future glory of Zion. This is our history. Arise, shine. This is Isaiah 60:1. If y'all understand in the South, because the people up north may not understand this. In the South, when they used to rub our boys, our little children here, let me get some luck, shine. Them Caucasian would do it. Let me get some luck, shine, and let me get some luck today, or whatever. They rub the little boy's hair, or they'll call them shine because of how we used to shine. Especially when they used to put that oil and lard on our face when we was young. We used to shine and glisten. This is talking about today's time. Arise, shine. It called us shine. It didn't say arise and shine. It says arise, shine, talking about a people. But nowadays we call niggers, blacks, coloreds, African Americans. Y'all skipped Shine and Piccadilly and all them other names that they used to call us. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of Yah is risen upon thee. This is the spirit of the Father that's starting to rise upon us as we do go through our awakening. This is our light, and this is our shining of the Father. That's when we going through our awakening and we start to see in the last days in the day. Like I said, this is talking about in these days. Just kind of coming up out of the slavery and stuff like that. Arise, shine, because we would call that in this time. In this, I said in this day, but not in this day, about 50, 60, 70 years ago, maybe, something like that. Or maybe 100 years or two, because don't forget, we went through this for 400 years, 1619 to 2019. But, verse 2, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth. You see that? The darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people, the minds of the people. This is in the mind because people have forgotten the law of the Creator. Now I'm going to show you where the law came. I'm going to show you. See, all this I can show you in the beginning, but you have to have spiritual eyes to see. So I'm giving it to you. Ask the Creator to reveal it to you and let you see. If you don't believe me, ask Him to let you see it and understand it. I'm giving you scripture. I'm giving you where it's coming from, and it's up to you to take it from there. I only came to share because I told the Creator, He brought me to the truth. I'll put the truth in songs and writing and give it to the world. It's up to the world to accept it or reject it. And I'm singing right now. I'm singing the word of Yah. So, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the darkness, but the Lord shall what? But Yah shall arise upon thee, the Spirit. But Yah shall rise upon thee, and His glory shall be seen upon thee. His glory gonna be seen upon us as we awaken. As we go through our awakening, we're gonna start to fall off from the ways of the world, and we're gonna start doing His will and His ways. Verse 3, and the Gentiles shall come to thy light. The Gentiles, see, they're going to start following us. They'll start coming to us and finding the real way. A lot of them are already saying now, Israel is us. They know who we are. They see what's coming, and they understand. And those that will be converted, which I might as well read it on down to show it to you, get to 5. I might as well read it on down to 5 to break it down and show you the conversion of other people. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, our light, and kings, people in power. People in power to the brightness of our rising. I say thy rising, but it's our rising. As we start to rise, people will start coming to us. They'll start to see and understand, especially when we get in the position that we're supposed to be in. Because the kings that's in servitude going to want to get freed. Barack, I know you know what I'm talking about. They're going to want to get free, but see, this is a private matter. I can't talk too much about that situation. But I'm telling you what I know. Verse 4. I said I wasn't going to go, but see, this gave me a point to show you about the conversion. It says, verse 4, lift up thine eyes round about. Look up and lift your eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together. They come to thee. They coming to us. Thy sons shall come from far, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side. The Creator's sons is come. We're going to start to gather together. We're going to start to build, and the people going to start to see and understand. The horizon it's already going on now. Slowly but surely, but it's happening. And we got spurts of us around the world doing different things. Everybody ain't got the full of it yet, but they're getting it and they're growing in it. So like I said, I'm not the only one. I was anointed. But I know I'm not the only one that was anointed. I don't go around saying, I'm Jesus. I don't do that. Anoint means anoint, anointed, and anointing only means what shall I say, Messiah in Greek. Messiah is Hebrew for anoint, anointed, or anointing in English. Greek is Christ. Christ is Greek for anoint, anointed, or anointing in English. It's a title. It's not the first and last name of the prophet that they gave to you in the New Testament. And like I said, I'm giving you history tonight. If you want it, fine. If you don't, fine. Hey. Verse 5. Then thou shalt see. Then y'all gonna see. If it's not us, it's them. And flow together. Then we're gonna see and we're gonna flow together, and thy heart shall fear. First, we're gonna be scared because we're gonna come to first because we're gonna be ashamed once we really wake up. Those who have been anointed and start to really see his word. You're gonna be ashamed at first. And then what's gonna happen? And be enlarged. Then you're gonna be enlarged because I know it happened to me. I'm telling you what I come to know, not believe, what I know. Fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea, the abundance of, I like to say, the abundance of the sea of people, the abundance of the sea shall be converted. You see what I said? I came on down. Remember I talked about the Gentiles up there? The abundance of the sea of people is going to be converted to the ways of the Creator. Everything's going on right now is because the Creator see, oh, this is spiritual. People have looked at the Bible and said the Bible is it's a religious book because that's what y'all been taught. In the religion that took from the words of the Creator and made it a religion, where'd you get the New Testament from? Here you go. Well, where you get your New Testament from? See, the New Testament is religion. That's where you get Christianity from, and all these other doctrines from. That's where you get Baptists from the word. They made a whole religion out of it, and all these other doctrines and things like that. That's where that comes from, the New Testament that was given to you by the Council of Nicaea, the Pope, and King Constantine. And then, what's his name? King James just put his fine print on it when he had everybody write it out the way he wanted it written. That's all. It's still of the Creator. That's the bottom line. The breath of life gonna put down what he wants done. And he allows all the evil to happen. He's allowing it to happen to see what you gonna do. All these things are happening because it's a purpose that he said, what did he say over there? And I shall do all my pleasure. Didn't we just read that in Isaiah 46, 46 or 40, I think that 46:10. 46:10 or 48:10, but I think it was 46 verse 10. Declaring the end from the beginning, and I will do all my pleasure was the last part of that verse. But let's keep it moving. But I think I done. I think I done it. The abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee, which is unto us. The forces of the Gentiles. Now, who's the forces of the Gentiles? Shall come unto thee. What forces of the Gentiles? The Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard. It's already happening. It's already happening. How is it already happening? Every nation going to go back to their own land. It didn't say how it was going to happen, but the nations is heading to their own land now. The Mexicans has already been taken back to Mexico or wherever they was going. All these the so-called real the real what do you call they're not murderers, but what do you call them? Criminals. I'll put it like that. They go into Guantanamo Bay or what have you. Excuse me. A lot of things are happening according to prophecy, but people can't see it because their eyes are blind by the system. Their eyes are blind by the system that has been ruling over them, and people don't want the system to change. The system is here to change because the Creator is allowing it to happen. Whether if it's happening for the good or if it's happening for the bad, the Creator is allowing it to happen. No matter how you see it, the best bet is to get in the Word and follow Yah, the Creator, the Almighty, the Most High. I like to say the all of everything, which is the all of alls. That's the first thing that everybody should be doing. But everybody, your time is coming. Because you don't want to listen. You don't want to check it out. It's on you. I'm just a vessel. That's all I'm doing. So That was Isaiah chapter 50, according to the first half of Genesis 1, verse 2. And it says, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. That's the people and the earth itself. Then it says, and the Spirit, here we go, and the Spirit of Yah moved upon the face of the waters. The waters is the people. See, that's the point. The people is the waters, and the Spirit of Yah moved upon them. This is going on in this day and time. See, when you see this as prophecy, you can see what's going on because this was taught. Majority of the time, the Creator speak is mostly talking about in the end days, the latter days, because the Father's seen everything already. We in the most vulnerable time now because we don't know who we are. We had to be awakened from sleep, from death. Ezekiel 37, the valley of dry bones. We have to be awake because we don't know who we are. Think about it. A people who has been taken, whether they taken from us from the land or we're in this land, no matter, the whole thing is brainwashing. Whole thing, bottom line, brainwashed. We've all been brainwashed one way or another, whether it's people call themselves blacks and whites, whether they done changed the name of the lands, whether they changed the areas and codes and all this. Rome has taken over the whole earth. I told you I'm giving you a history tonight. If you got ears to hear, let them hear. History is what tonight is called. The whole earth, the Greek and the Roman Empire, the third and fourth generation, what the Creator spoke in the second commandment. And then what people call their religion grace, that's the last thing said. But showing mercy, which is grace, unto thousands of them that do what? Love me and keep my commandments. You only can love him if you're keeping his commandments. That's how he know you love him. Other than that, you're loving an idol and you're idol worshiping, and you don't even know it. Like I told you, we're in the day of the awakening. So, second part of two. And the spirit of Yah, that's the Holy Spirit, that's the anointing spirit, moved upon the face of the people, which is the waters. The people is the waters. We represent water. We're 70 to 75% water, just like the earth. Our bodies are 70 to 75% water. Blood cells and brain cells made of 90% water. We're majority water. Even though we have physical, we're majority. Matter of fact, we're breathing. We're breathing water. It's just a small density because it's what is called we call air. Remember, water is ice, which is a solid. Then it melts and turns to a liquid. Then it evaporates and comes up, and in the air that we're breathing, which is the water that's going up into the heavens, to be recycled to come back down. I believe the clouds are recycling the water, even though they make their own man-made clouds as well. I mean, water as well, putting stuff, dry ice and stuff, and chemicals in the air. But it evaporates, goes up, and it recycles and come back down. We are living in water, but people can't even see it. But hey, let's keep it moving. Verse 3. Now, guess what the light is? It said, verse 3, the first light, the first day light. And Yah said, let there be light. A lot of people say, well, yeah, there was light. There was light before that was the sun. That was some people come with all kind of stuff. I say the light was the law. It all talks throughout the book. It talks about the light being the law. The law is light. Wickedness is darkness. You can't be a both. You either light or darkness. Whatever one you just hit me again. Let's go to Isaiah 45. Isaiah 45. I think we'll start. It's 45 and 7, but we're gonna hit 45 and maybe 5, I believe. 45 and 5 or 6, maybe. I don't know. Let's see right here. Here we go. Isaiah 45. Um, Isaiah 45, 5, 6, and 7. We'll go with 45, 5, 6, 7. We ain't going to be too long, so I'm just going to give you a few verses and break them down as we go. 45, 5. I am Yah, and there is none else. How many people still believing in and worshiping Jesus and calling on Jesus and all this? Matter of fact, they break the first commandment. First commandment, thou shalt have no other gods before me. When you start your prayer, oh God, this, oh God, we thank you. We do this and that. We thank you, Father, for all this and that. We thank you, Father. We thank you, thank you, thank you. We praise you and we thank you, Father, and this and that, and this and that. And then the first and last thing you say, this is how you put another God in front of them. Last thing you say, in Jesus' name, in Yahshua's name, in Muhammad's name, whoever's name, Yahshua's name. You just put another God right there with your creator. You don't even, but you've been taught that. I can show you in here when he says, when a prophet speak in my name, which is in the law. When the prophet speak, the creator speak whatever he spoke to the prophet will tell you what the creator said. Thus said the Lord, bam, whatever the creator said. But when you say in somebody's name right there, you can just put another God right there, breaking the first three commandments. And that's the first one. But let's break it back down. First, verse 5. Isaiah 45, 5. I am Yah, and there is none else. There is no Yah, as they say, God, besides me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me. That they may know, who? That they all may know from the rising of the sun from the east and from the west. There is none. He ain't say there's my son beside me. He ain't say nothing else, but there is none besides me. I am Yah, and there is none else. Now, who gave you Jesus? Who said they gave him Jesus all the praise? Jesus, he did this, and he made the world, and he gave us all this and that. Delusional. There is none besides me. I am Yah, and there is none else. 7, last verse and key. I form the light and create darkness. You see that? I make peace and create evil. I, Yah, do all these things. Who do it? The prophet said that the creator said that he did it. I'm just giving you what's said in the book. And Yah said, let there be law. The light is the law. And Yah said, let there be light, which is the law. And there was light, which is law. That's why the law was here in the beginning. That's why the Father can't go against the law, because his law was here when he placed everything. That's what the spirit of Yah moved upon the waters, which is upon the people. Now people are starting to understand the light, which is the law. Because the spirit of Yah, the spirit of Almighty, is going to teach you the word and teach you the law. That's why it's moving upon the waters, which is the people, to teach you. And Yah said, let there be law, which is the light. And there was light, which is the law. Verse 4. And Yah saw the light, the law, that it was good. And Yah divided. See what division is? Some people still calling day and night the same thing. Division is divide. Two different things. And Yah saw the light that it was good, and Yah divided the light from the darkness. Divide the light, the law from wickedness. And all you got to do is read the law and find out. I got to read the first 5 books and see what the creator said. And if he didn't say anything behind something, he acquiesced, meaning he agreed to it. And the only thing that I can see that he didn't say anything behind was when it came to divorcement. When you decide to get a divorce, you give the woman the bill of divorce. If she's done something, because the man is to cleave unto his woman. And most men do that. And you tell me in my line. I said men. I'm not talking about boys. Men. When we get with a woman, we know what we want. I'm talking about men. I'm not talking about boys. I'm not talking about these players out here. I'm talking about men that stand for their family, that want to raise a family, that wants a wife to not only to cater to him, but to do his will, to actually be his helpmeet. Men is what I'm talking about here. Men is going to cleave unto their wife, just like it said in the book in the beginning. A man shall therefore leave his mother and father, and he shall cleave unto his wife. Didn't say nothing about marriage. When a man and woman have intercourse and sex, they're married right then and there. When they come, see, number one, it's an agreement. See, it's history tonight. It's information tonight. It's an agreement. When y'all get in courting and get to know each other, hey, how you doing? Hey, oh, I like you. I like you. Okay, yeah, let's go out. Let's get to know each other. Is that okay? Cool, cool. Then we what? They come together. That's marriage there. Then comes children. Then comes the children. That's an agreement of you and her coming together and building an empire, whether it's you and her or you and them. I love all y'all. Oh, we love you too. You can have more than one wife. As long as you can take care of them, or as long as y'all working together. That's what it's about. If y'all working together, which is, because this says 7 women going to take hold of one man. That's prophecy. That's coming. That's closer today than you can ever believe. We almost there. And this system is going to push it because y'all about to find out some stuff. Y'all going to find out some stuff that y'all don't even, y'all be, that's the reason why they're against, why the system is against the man. Boy, so much is coming to me right now. I can really just break down. All kind of information. I'm just going to throw this out here since I'm in the beginning. And since I'm on, let me get the end of this first, and then I'm going to hit you with that. Verse 4 again. And y'all saw the light that it was good, and y'all divided the light from the darkness. And here we go. He divided the law from wickedness. And he said, and y'all called the light day. The light he called day. He said light is day. If I'm saying light is day, and if he says the darkness he called night, that's division. And the evening and the morning were the first day, which is evening and the morning is a day. So why is people calling the evening night? Evening is not night. And if y'all calling it evening and night, y'all calling the creator a lie. Evening is a part of the daylight, period. This is where you have two parts of the day where people don't have to understand, and I'm going to give it to you for those who don't understand and may not know. The breaking of the day is the beginning of the day. The break, even before you see the sun, before you see the sun. The breaking of the day is when you see light. That's the early morning. That's when the twilight of the twilights is going out. When you can still see the star, but you see the daylight as well. And also you can see I seen the crescent of the moon this morning. I'm taking my wife to work. A little sliver, as they say, well, that's the new moon. No, it ain't. It's going out. Then you got a sliver when it's coming in. So which one is the new moon? The new moon is when the dark moon. That's the new moon. Because it's a moon there, but you can't see it. It's the opposite of the full moon. Knowledge and history. It's the opposite of the full moon. A lot of people don't understand that. They're so busy going with tradition, they don't have a mindset to understand logic. The new moon is the new month. The new moon is the dark moon. That's the new month. That's the new moon. We look for the sliver. When we look for the sliver, that's when the new moon is. That ain't the new moon. The new moon is when it's dark. When the sliver come, you already see light. It's done begun then. That's just like me having, oh, this is a new cup of water. I only got a sliver. I don't care if it's just a little bit. I don't care if it's a drop in there. Oh, that's a new. No, it ain't no new cup of water. Like it's not. It's a new cup before the water get in there. When the cup is full, then it's a full cup. But before the cup get full, this is just the light that's in the moon that they're showing. The moon itself is what it's talking about. People have no understanding. And that's for those who know about that point of the law, spirituality, and when it comes to the book. and the new moons and things like that that we're supposed to keep. But let's keep it moving. And again, and Yah called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening, which is the from the noonday, beginning of the evening, until the end of the evening when the darkness comes. That's the second half of the day. But the breaking of the day is when the light comes about, and until as the sun goes up. That's the beginning of the day, first half of the day until noon. And that the going down of the sun is the evening, it's the beginning of the evening, mid-evening, late evening, and then dusk and dark. Then you have the beginning of the morning, mid-morning, late morning, and then you have noon, which is the end of the morning and beginning of the evening. Two halves of the day, the evening and the morning is the first or just is a day. But you have two cycles. You have a full, we call it 12, but I only want to say 12. I'm saying you have a full cycle of darkness, then you have a full cycle of light. Two divisions. And both those divisions 7 times give you a week. Dark, light, 7 times. Understanding will keep thee. So that's on that. Now, before I get to more history, I might as well give you where we at right now today by, because I was going to go in, but since I was on this part and I got to talking about the system, or I was about to get into the system, I like to break down chapter 3 real quick when it comes to verse 1, the fall of man. See, I'm about to give you what Adam Weishaupt, and that's more history. Right now, we're going into the beginning of information to give you understanding right now, and then we're going to go into the stuff that's going on to today's time. So I got to give you from the beginning and move into history and the prophecies and things like that. So we're moving. I'm glad we started to, thank you, Father, we started from the beginning of the book to give you understanding, number one, what Father saw and what the first day was. The first day was the imagination of everything. The Father saw everything from beginning to the end the first day, and he saw how everything moved about. He seen it all. Then in day 2, he physically started creating. See, the first day was spiritual. The second day was the first day was spiritual. The second day and on throughout the week was physical. That's when he started creating everything, and the waters and the sea. Well, y'all know all you gotta do is look for yourself. Understanding will keep thee. So now chapter 3. I gotta give you where we at today. Give you understanding of today, and then just give you the understanding of the system real quick. I'm gonna give you understanding of the system before we get into real history. See, I'm bringing you from the back and bringing you up. This is where we at today, and this is the symbols of the Creator gave you everything right here in the book. You just have to be spiritual enough to see it. I'm gonna break it down like this. The serpent is the system. The serpent is the system today. I'm gonna show you how the serpent is the system. The woman is of 2 parts. The woman is either of the system, or she's of the husband, which is she either a woman or she's a female. That's where I call them. And I'm just going to leave it like that. She's either a woman, which is a woman of the man, or she's a female. All she thinking about the money. And she's following anything other than her husband. And the female can be a hoe. She can be a slut, a tramp. She can be all that stuff. Female can be just somebody. When I say hoe, they're all about the money. They'll do anything for it. Show all the goodies and everything. Walk around half naked and everything. So I'm not going to say female and just said using the word hoe. All right? I'm going to be nice tonight. Or whore. Whore, hoe, however you want to put it. I let it be known. And you know them by their actions. You ain't got to say, oh, she's good. No, her actions show how many babies she got. And I'm not saying women that have babies are all females, if you know what I'm saying, because some of them could have been with a man and they could have been dedicated to that man and they supposed to be together. The man could have left. So we got a lot of like I said, boys and I call them boys and I call them guy. I'm trying to see what name could I give them type of men. You know what I'm saying? You know, but hey, they're other than men. They're not men because the Father made Adam as to be man, but he fell. But let's get on in here. Let's get on in here and let's break that down. So the fall of man, chapter 3. Now the serpent was more, matter of fact, I told y'all a little something earlier when I talked about the cleaving. Let me make this real quick. Let me go ahead and hit that real quick. Just so I can show you where what they said and let me give you an understanding. The making of woman. I'm gonna start at 21 before I go to 3. Yep. Let me start at 21 and take it on through. Genesis 2 and 21. Genesis 2, verse 21. The making of woman. The making of woman. Right? And Yah caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. And he slept. Right? Sounds like when we going through something, don't it? And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. Now, he didn't take a real rib, because I believe we all still have the same ribs. If you look at and me and my wife looked it up a while back. If you look up the word of DNA and RNA, if you look up the word, you'll see the word rib in there, which the DNA and RNA looks like ribs going and turning. You see, it look like a ladder, look like ribs, but they're going in. They're going in a spiral. And I said, you know what? I told my wife, I said, you know what? Look up DNA and RNA, because I know everybody we all got the same rib. So if he took a rib out, it must mean DNA, because what do they do today? They splice today. They're making and creating things today from DNAs of different things and animals and stuff, right? That's what these Caucasians are doing. I'm gonna say Caucasians mostly. I ain't gonna say our people ain't doing it, but they're mostly behind it. So if you look at the DNA in its form, the DNA is the rib that the Creator took from man. But also look at it like this. You see skin over the ribs. That means that we are the women's covering. You don't see nobody walking around with no exposed ribs. Who walks around with exposed ribs? We are the covering of our women. The women is under us. When I say under us, our wives are help me. They're supposed to help us. And I'm not saying that we have to be all like, yeah, no, I'm not saying we have to be that, because this is why they are help me. A lot of stuff we can do, we can have a plan, we can do something, and they're supposed to help enhance our plan or keep it together. Because men is conquering. That's what we are. We're conquerors. How do you think all this stuff is built? How do you think this house is built? How do you think we have all this stuff? When you look around, this whole country is built off the knowledge of man, the imagination of man. What I say? The imagination is how we was built in the main of the Creator. Oh, he formed us as flesh. No, I mean, he formed us from, yeah, he made arm, leg, arm, head, as they say, Allah, which is still an idol, as far as I'm concerned. Allah is an idol. Because he said arm, leg, arm, head. I'm Allah. No, that's still a body. See what I'm saying? But hey, all I'm just sharing with you is logic and information. So, when the Creator created man, he created man in his image, imagination. We have imagination to build this world. What other animal in this world build like us? You tell me. What other animal that calls themselves human or any other animal that builds like us? We're creators. We're not created like the Creator of creation, but we are creators. That's why we're the sons of the Most High, sons of the Almighty, sons of the all of ours. We're children of the Most High. But now your character, which actually makes you, is you are the light or if you're the darkness. Don't forget, the Creator said He created all things, right? So you either one or the other. You are the light of His or you are the darkness of His. Both of them are still His. So everybody go around talking about the devil, the devil. You the devil. The devil is you, whoever you may be, doing evil. That's who the devil is, and the system. Because the system is already, it was already in their plan to be that way. So if you're following the system and going against the word, hey, you heard it here, but hey, I'm just delivering a message. I'm a messenger. So, as it says, and Yah caused a deep sleep to fall on Adam. This is Genesis 2, verse 21. A deep sleep to fall on Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, let's say he took some some DNA, I would like to say, but took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. That means, like I said, we are the covering of that rib. Example. So by us being the covering of the rib, that means that we cover our women. Our women is under us. Anytime your rib want to jump off from under you and go run and be somebody else's rib to be played with, how many of y'all seen on the Flintstones when they after they ate some rib, they picking their teeth with the rib. That's what the Caucasian do with these women. The women is the rib. Don't even realize it. That's how they being used. I'm gonna show you in a few minutes. But and the rib which Yah had taken from man made he a woman. He made the woman from that DNA. I'm saying that. You know what I'm saying? You can think what you want, but I'm giving you my point of view. I'm not saying I'm reading what it say, but I'm giving you my point of view to give you another thought pattern on what's going on and a logical thing to think about. And brought her unto the man. So after he made her from his DNA, rib, he brought her to the man. 23. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. Check it out. When you and that woman come together, y'all are bone and bone and flesh of flesh. You know why? Because when y'all come together, now y'all making children. That's why y'all bone and of each other's bone and flesh. Well, she's the bone of you, and because you go into her and create children with her from your seed, your spark. Your spark and your seed create children. Inside the woman is the incubator. She carries the egg that takes the spark to grow the child. That's where you are two come together. So you got to have the man and the woman. A lot of people trying to speak on, y'all got the war of the man and the woman today. When really just the man that's trying to come back and get his woman because the system that took her away and made her think that she all that. And you can't tell her nothing nowadays. But hey, again, and Adam said, this is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. Yeah. Yep. She was taken out of man and she produces children for the man, which is for them. And y'all gonna find out how important the man is and why the woman, I'm talking, when I say y'all, the people that's in our group, people that's in my private class, you're going to find out some information in the future. We got to get through first part first. But I got some information for you. But 24, therefore shall a man, here we go, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother. He's leaving the comfort of home. Number one, let me share something with you. I'm going step by step to give you understanding as we move. Men teach their boys. Men teach their boys the craft that they do, because a lot of time the craft follows your family. Whatever your craft is, it follows your family and it follows the things that you do. So when you have a craft and something that you're in that you do, you teach it to your children, and it becomes, in these days and time, we call it a family business, right? We call it family business. Sometimes we can expand on that family business unless a child just want to come up and say, oh, I want to do this and go do that and become a prodigal son. Because a lot of times, children don't get up and go do something and be successful without, especially if the father is successful. And then they go out and try to do something elsewhere, unless they're good at what they do. If they with minds, they became good at what they're doing. But they'll go out and then sometimes they become, as like I was saying, the prodigal son, go out there and waste up all this stuff and come back home and want to suck up back from daddy and them again. No, you're supposed to be over here doing this, and you're supposed to be carrying on the legacy of what we're doing, child. So, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother and shall cleave unto his wife. Did I not say that? A man gonna cleave. That's what we do. A man will do all he can to try to save his home. A man. Now I understand if you got a treacherous woman. I'm talking about men now. I'm not talking about boys. I'm not talking about these slicksters out here. I'm gonna call them that. Slicksters. You know what I'm saying? Men out here that's just trying to lay with women and do all they can, or outside of what they should be doing, being men. They want to be slicksters. They want to be pimps. They want to be all this and that. You know what I'm saying? Now we ain't going on the other side of the other side of the mountain. You know, broke back. We ain't talking about that. We just talking about the men and the slicksters now. You know what I'm saying? So therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. How they gonna be one flesh? This is how they gonna raise children. And also they're one flesh. They think as one. They come as one. They come as one. They think as one. They build as one. They practically get to the point where you can think this is when you're in common and working together. When you got a treacherous woman, a woman, she ain't gonna want to do it's mine. Well, what's mine is mine, what's yours is mine. Get away from them. Let them go. I don't care how much you think you love them, get them away from you. They're gonna tear you down. They're just gonna use you and leave you. But it's up to you to accept that or reject it. But the whole thing is a man gonna cleave to one and she's gonna look out for him. She's gonna want to help him. She's gonna be by his side. She's gonna help him out with everything you do. She's gonna be there for him. But these women out here that act like they're users. If they see you got something, they want to use it up just because you got it. If a woman really like you, you ain't got she gonna do for you. She gonna want to pay, even though you a man, like, no, you ain't gotta do that. But I want to. You will know a woman that's gonna do for you. She ain't trying to take from you. She ain't trying to bring you down. If you sick, you gonna see if she gonna take care of you. Believe me, you will know. You will know. You know what I'm saying? So, right and 25, last verse. And they both were naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed because they're one. Walk around your woman, you ain't gotta be ashamed. She know what you look like. Whatever, you know what she look like. There's no shame. And that's still today. How it's supposed to be. But now let's really go into verse 3. Now we're going to get to the same, but all that was needed. Now let's go into verse 3 real quick. The fall of man. This is where mistakes happen. This is where we go outside of what we were told not to do. And a lot of time it's because of the manipulation and the manipulation and the impulse that we feel of something that we care so much about that we fell off track. I like to say we fell from grace. Why? Because we did what we weren't supposed to do, even though we were told not to do it. All right. So, chapter 3, the fall of man. Now the serpent, the system. Put the two together so you can understand what's going on. Now, the serpent, which is the system, was more subtle, slick than any beast of the field which Yah had made. Now this serpent is slick, which is the system. It's slick. I'm gonna sit back and see what I can do. And this is not only the system. This is anybody other than your man. I'm talking to the. This is the man talking to the woman. Anything, anybody out there other than your man, which you supposed to be one flesh with, right? You and him supposed to be like this. You get a guy come in, whisper in your ear. He whispering in your ear. Oh, okay. What arm leaves his body? No, arm can't leave his body unless you cut it off. But the whole thing is, a lot of these women, they fall. I want to say victim because they allow themselves to go there. You got some women that straight up, oh, don't talk to me. This is them type of women that need to stand their ground, you know. And you got some men that slick that can still kind of get to them, but long as the woman knows, see, I got one. As a matter of fact, before I met her, when I first met her, she was like that. 'Cause I remember when I first met her before leaving Detroit, I saw her and I was going to try to talk to her. But she saw me and her cousin do a routine. And then once we got done, she was gone. I didn't even get a chance to even get to her. She didn't know I was going to try to holler at her. And I remember that when me and her finally got together and her sister said, "That's Mike." Remember when him and Gloria would, well, no, we did a song on Gloria. I think her cousin name was Nina. And I did a song named Gloria and I lifted the cousin up, did a nice, beautiful routine. But she was fine to me when I seen her when we was young. I still remember that. I remember after we did the routine, before I could say, ah, she was gone. Had a man. That's the type of woman you need. She's been loyal like that to all her men. And she ain't had a lot. She only had about in her lifetime from what she shared with me, maybe three. No more. I think she had no she ain't had 10 men in her life. And I inquire to find out what I need to know. So I know she ain't had no more. She barely had five, I believe. If six, maybe that. But I do know three. She may have had a couple more she was probably just seeing, but wasn't with. So I know what I know about who I'm with because I inquire. You know what I'm saying? So, still getting back to the story. Again, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which Yah had made. And he said, this way you get to, and he said unto the woman, yeah, have Yah said ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Now you know good and well, if the Creator said something, you want to come and defy and go against what the Creator said, which the Creator said it to the man. Your man told you. No different than what the Creator is putting in the book and what I'm sharing with you. No different. Because this is what the Creator did to Adam, and Adam, you won't see in here that the Creator ain't spoke to Eve until he asked her, what have thou done? But you won't see in here before then that the Creator spoke to her. You won't see in here what the Creator, when he brought her, when he made her and brought her to Adam, you won't see where he said anything to her. Everything that went through her was from her husband, from her man. Verse 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, unto the system, and unto any man out there other than her husband. I got to put it like that because it's the system who broke up the family, and it be men who breaks up the family. Now you got men and women who breaking up the family, trying to get some feel good, trying to convert to that, to the other side of the Brokeback Mountain for the women. That is, you got people recruiting. Let me put it like that. You got recruiters out here. They're trying to get straight people that ain't even like that. But let's keep it moving. Verse 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. Now she's innocent. Now I look at her and Adam, they're innocent. Now she probably had a conversation. Nothing wrong with having a conversation. But when people start putting stuff in your ear that's against what you are not supposed to do, that's where the problem comes in at. Nothing wrong with conversation because people can be friendly all day long. But when people start to come against something that you know that you're not supposed to be going, if your husband told you something, you go against it, bam, there you go right there. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, verse 3, but the fruit of the tree which is in the middle of the garden, Yah has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And when he said, lest ye die, he didn't say die right then and there. Process of time is a mug.
Yo, that remind me of something I heard the other day. A brother say, "Yo, be," he said, he was like, "Be less like Adam and more like Abraham,"
There you go. We should be. But the
because, like
whole
you
point
said,
is,
like Adam, he went to God like saying, "Oh, well, she made me do," complain, try to blame it on her. When, like you said, as a man, Abraham, he was more obedient and
there you go.
faithful and just did what he was supposed to do as a man. But like you said, Adam, he kind of like blame it on the woman, like following the woman and lead instead of being a stand up man. But yeah, that was deep right there.
That's on point. But the whole, well, we're going to get to the point as well on what you just said, sharing on the same point. And it said, God, Yah said, and Yah have said, ye shall not eat, wait a minute, hold on, verse 3. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yah has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Verse 4. Here go the serpent, again in the ear. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. You see that? This is convincing. Still on her. She said, well, I just told you what he said. Well, you ain't gonna surely die, but 6 is your key. This 6 is today. This is why I show you the difference between then that's going on today. Verse 5. For Yah do the serpent said, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die, for Yah do know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. See, now, isn't this the woman today? Oh, okay, let me I'm like, this they're always trying to outdo. They're always trying to be more than what they're supposed to be. We went to a comedian, the guy said, "Oh, what did he say? What that how that comedian said? I don't even know if he was a comedian. He said about the woman eating the apple. No, he said the guy said you can have everything in the garden or whatever, and the woman said I forgot how it went, but he said the woman said I forgot how the story went. Dang, it was a comedian, but the guy everybody that heard it I know. And but the woman sat back there at the end of it, and the guys was laughing. The girl sat back there and she said, I was looking for more. He said, yeah, that's the point. Y'all know it. I know y'all done seen it. So that's the whole point. This right here, verse 6 is your key. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, she saw it. Now he done put it in her ear. He done persuaded her now. He gone. He done put it in her ear. Now she thinking on it. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food and that it was pleasant to the eyes and a tree to be desired to make one wise. You see that? Women always trying to outdo. They're always trying to outdo. She took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Now, some crazy people actually think like her husband right there. Man, he was saying he was right there with her, just like my wife right now. She downstairs. I'm here. She with me in the house, but she ain't right next to me. She's here with me, but she ain't next to me. She down. She not, if I call her, she probably come. But who? He was in the garden with her. They was in the garden together. That's why it says with her. But people have a mixed up mind. This is what I mean by corruption. People don't have a logical thinking of understanding things. So it says, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat. I like to say, and went also and gave it unto her husband. That's what I would like to say. But it says, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Like he gonna sit up here and watch her, and she done had the conversation. He's standing right there listening to him like an old dummy. Oh, she's up there talking to the serpent, and he's telling her, and she's just gonna eat right in front of my face. People are crazy. Verse 7. And the eyes of them both, checked it out. I came up last time I read this. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked. You know when you get in trouble when you're a child? Ooh, your eyes get big. Ooh, we did wrong. Well, don't play ball in the house. Don't play ball in the house. Mom and daddy gone. Creator gone. Don't play ball in the house. Let's go throw the ball. They throw the ball and then break something. Ooh, eyes wide open. Ooh, ooh. Oh yeah, you're in trouble now because you can't get out of it. It's broken. You can't fix it. Your eyes is open. When they bit the fruit, their eyes was open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. Now they're ashamed. They was innocent at first. Children walk around butt naked and don't even think nothing about it. Innocence. They done took the word, even the system took the word innocent out of the court system and want to plead guilty or not guilty. The word guilty is still associated. You see what I'm saying? The word guilty is still there. Even if you plead guilty or not guilty, the word guilty is still associated. They done took the word innocent out. So I try to give you understanding and let you see things for what it is. The system is the serpent. And sewed fig leaves together and made them aprons. And they heard the voice of Yah walking in the garden in the cool of the day. You know, a lot of time when the parents get hot, they need to cool down before they pass judgment. And if y'all are parents, y'all know what I'm talking about. Some people are children raising children today, and they don't get cool before they think about what they're doing. In the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yah amongst the trees of the garden. And then the father called God. We know about this. I'm gonna read it on down though. And Yah called to Adam and said unto him, where art thou? And he said, see, he still ain't spoke to Eve. Excuse me. He still ain't spoke to Eve, but also on the situation right here. Now, I'm not giving Adam a pass, but I also want to let everybody understand. Men love their women to sometimes they'll do wrong for their woman. Tell me, am I lying? Some men love their women so much they'll do something wrong that they know they ain't supposed to do for the woman because they love them. That's what Adam did right here when she said, here, eat this. And she persuaded him to do it, and he did it. Instead of him saying, put that down, girl. What's wrong with you? Daddy! See, but she persuaded him. She might have been fine. The majority of the women that can persuade a man today, them fine ones. You know what I'm saying? Them fine ones can persuade a man. But if you got a woman, and this is one thing, if you got a woman that love, especially if she fine, young and fine, and she love the creator, and she's following you, you got a blessing from the creator. And you better thank him for it and appreciate her. If she love the creator and she's following you, appreciate it. Because I tell you what, once you lose her, you'll be, woo boy, you'll regret the day you and her broke off. You'll regret it. I'm, I'm telling you what I know. I ain't never went through that because every woman I got with, I appreciate it. But the ones they didn't appreciate me. They didn't appreciate what I had to give for them. They didn't appreciate who I was and how I was to them. But the ones that all of them actually knew how I was or how I am, and still want me back today. All of them, I know for a fact. But I got the one that I have now. If anybody else come, if the creator send others, fine. But I know the one that I got that he said the one's gonna be with me, and she ain't going nowhere. Hey, I know what I got. That's all I'm gonna say. Whatever comes, the creator bless me with anything or anyone, not anything, any other sisters, it'll be a blessing of the Most High because everybody gonna get along here, and ain't nobody coming in breaking up what I got. Period. And you see, I'm bold enough to say it because she knows. She knows that I can have more than one woman. But I also am wise enough to know that if I get another one, she ain't coming in breaking up nothing. So I'm just being straight up and I'm saying it right here because if they come back, she see it, she already know flat out. Men stand as men. So, and he said, I heard thy voice, verse 10, Genesis 3 and 10. Um, and he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, but I was naked and I hid myself. 11. And he said, who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldst not eat? You know the creator seen it. 12. And the man said, the woman, you see, now this is where he point the blame. The woman said, the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. Which is true. The woman you gave me, you gave her to me, and I gave me a tree, and I did eat. You know, but that ain't no. You still at fault. How you gonna try to blame her? Well, if I gave it to you for a blessing. That's why women are cursed to most women today, to most men today. You see how he blamed her? Drake blamed the creator, actually. He blamed the creator that you gave her to me, and or he was just saying, well, the woman you gave me, she gave me, he could have just been saying, it all depends on how you take it. See, we can look at it many different ways. We can look at it, he was trying to blame the creator that he gave her to him and she ate, or he could have just said, well, the woman that, she gave it to me, the woman that you gave to me, because it might have been other women, not in the garden, but other women. And it's something that I've been pondering on that I don't choose to bring out yet when it comes to those females. But hey, we just going with what we know for right here. And I can show you what I'm talking about, but we ain't going there. With me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. Verse 13. And Yah said unto the woman, this the first time you can see he ever spoke to her. You never seen nowhere before here he created spoke to her. But when he said, and Yah said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. The serpent, see, we putting blame, but still, he beguiled her, but he didn't beguile her. You thought on it. You sat there and thought on it, and you did it. You trying to blame him. You thought on to do that. You thought twice. Not matter of fact, you didn't only just he didn't give it to you. You thought on it and you took it and you thought on what it could do for you. Like most women today, always trying to get ahead, thinking they are that. Some want to get with the Caucasian because they think that he's going to be better for her than all this and that. They go to the jobs and this. Y'all know the story. The system. It's the system. But the Creator's word will never leave, will never pass. Put it like that. Now the curse, verse 14. This is what's going on today that people don't understand. I'm giving you understanding as I'm sharing with you. This is today, the curse. And Yah said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, I'm going to give you understanding. Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Right? It's a semicolon. Now, spiritually, let me give you this point here. We know what it say physically, but I'm gonna give you a spiritual point to look at. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. Now, how do these people that's sneaking? See, upon thy belly, just like a snake, they sneaking, whispering, trying to do this and that. See, they doing stuff behind people's back. These are the thieves and the robbers. See what I'm saying? This is the system that does something blatantly, but they did it in your face because they made it to the point where what could they do? And this is where The system. This is the system that's talking about right now. This the system, and this is those men out there that's out here going against or just going to do the things that they're doing that's against the creation or the creator's word. Mainly that the darkness of men, the evil men out here. This is who he's talking about. Besides the system. So it's twofold. It's the system and it's these men out here just having sex willy-nilly just with women, making I ain't gonna say making them hoes, but you know, they're out here just doing what they want to do, breaking up families. You know what I'm saying? They may see a woman, one may not be thinking about it. Some of them pursue a woman until they get them. That's a snake on the belly. And dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. Verse 15. And we know dust is nothing but flesh, all dried out. But this is dust, which is flesh when it's totally dried out. 15 is your key. And I will put enmity, see, enmity, between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. People don't understand what her seed is today. At this time, what it's speaking of is talking about in today's time. See, thy seed and her seed. See, thy seed is when you get the women of today that has the women of the system. See, these women are married to the system. Those are the seeds of Satan, of the system. The women that have children is not the children, but the seed is the children from her because she is of the system now. Between thy seed, which is the children of hers, doing whatever she got going on, and her seed. Her seed is the children of her and her husband. Her and her husband. And you can also look at that as Jacob and Esau, which is the system and us today. The system is Esau today. I could break all that down to you. The system is Esau, Genesis 27, 39 and 40. When thou hast gained the dominion and broke the yoke off thy neck. That's what the system is today. Esau. We are Jacob. We are Israel. We are the ones who are building and growing in this day and time. You got to understand it for what the scriptures are saying. You got to see the day's time in the scriptures. People can't see it. And I will put enmity, a difference between the two. Ones that's going to be of the Creator, ones that's going to be of Satan. 1 John chapter 3. Look at 1 John chapter 3. Homework. All this is homework tonight. I'll be getting ready to get off of this and get into part 2 in a few moments. But I was into this right now because even though it's about history, prophecy and history probably. I don't know. But, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. You see? Enmity. What's going on today? See, now the women's beginning to lose her way. Why? Because now Satan don't need her no more. The system don't need her no more. She done did all she did against her man. Now he done got her to turn against her man to the point where she thinks she's better than him. Now the man really don't want to deal with her now. Not with his own. Because they're out of control. I'm put it like that. They're out of control. And it's more like a perpetual thing right now because they don't know how to turn back. They've been trained to be of his seed. And they're teaching their children to be that way. And not only that, they're teaching their young boys to be like them. The young boys is turning into their mothers. If y'all can't see it, You're blind. Thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. You see that? Greatly multiply thy sorrow. How many women are sorry today? How many people how many women are growing to be sorry today? Greatly multiply her sorrow. Not only in one, we say greatly. Many different ways. Women don't want to work. Women that, oh, I want to be like a man. They can't do what a man do. See, there's many things that they're going through that they don't want to adhere to. Their women is keeping women single. Still got sorrows in all kinds of ways. You got many of them having surgeries right there that the system's having surgery, taking away their uterus and all this and that. They can't have babies. You got women right now that's going against the law that want to have abortions. That's straight against the law, but who taught them that? The system. Trump is coming in putting things back in order according to the creator. There's only two sexes, male and female. You got women trying to be men, you got men trying to be women. Everything is messed up. Darkness has covered the earth, and people cannot see. You try to share information, you try to give it to them, but this is the enmity between the two. And people can't even see it today. But let's keep it moving. Unto the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. See that? We know the conception when she have a baby. And I even think when animals have babies or animals, they don't go through the hardship and stuff that women do, as far as I know. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. You see? In sorrow they're gonna bring forth children, and they think why in sorrow they're gonna bring forth children. Number one, the man ain't around. Number two, they may have ran away the man. Number three, that the man may just not want to be with them for whatever reason. All these things is a part of their sorrow. I'm not pointing the finger. I'm giving you what the scripture said and what the creator said. When he said, it's going to happen. A lot of people don't see it that way. Many things are happening for a purpose. And the purpose is because of the things you're going through, because of what the creator said that's going to happen, because of the situation that happened at that time. And it all depends on you. See, remember what he said. I'm going to put enmity between thou and the woman, between thy seed and her seed. Now, if you're a good woman, you may not go through this stuff because it's going to depend on what seed you are. But the women are going to go through certain things. Why? Because look at the world today. Look up the system. Because the system, they're still for the system. They're still for the serpent. They're still for Satan. They ain't trying to follow the creator, some not. Then some is following him half-heartedly. Because they ain't trying to find the real truth. They following Jesus. Oh, I don't need no man. I need Jesus. And you ain't found out who Jesus is. Oh, that's going to probably, part two is going to be strong on a lot of history. Like I said, I'm going to have, it's homework now. I'm just going at more like in the history tonight. Oh, should I say, this is more like, history is coming up. This is more like prophecy and information of the past. So still history. Still history. History still of the past. But still talking about prophecy as well. But we're going to leave it as history tonight. Just going to be called history. And thy desire, see that? And thy desire shall be to thy husband. Now, I'm seeing this is twofold now. All that curse up there was for one woman. Bam! Thank you, Father. Boom, boom, boom. Just saw it tonight. Twofold. All this, the curse and stuff like this, it said in concept, in sorrow shalt thou bring forth children. Then you got a semicolon. Yep. Then it says, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Now, my woman desires me. That's a different kind of woman than the woman that he's talking about in the first half. Thank you, Father. He always give it to me on time. You see that? Two parts. The woman that love her husband, and thy desire and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Mainly, he gonna be over you. He gonna be your covering. That's what that means. Thank you, Father. You see, I told you he talked to me. Thank you, Father. Thank you. I seen the both parts tonight. He always opened me up like that. Unto the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow. See? And thy conception, and in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. And this is semicolon. Then it says, and thy desires, and this is the other woman. Because you got two type of women. Remember, he said thy seed and her seed. Now you got two type of women. One woman's gonna go through hell. One woman gonna go through hell because of her actions and her ways. The other one is her desire is gonna be to her husband. And he's gonna be ruling over her because when he said rule, it doesn't mean ruling like an iron rod. No, he's gonna be over her. He's gonna take care of her. Her desire gonna be her, and he's gonna be her ruler. He's gonna be over her. See, a lot of people take words and they go way off the left end with it. They don't even mean what you think. I rule over my wife, but I don't rule over my wife. I'm over my wife. I make the last decision. She may come up with something better than my thoughts is. I'll go with that, but it's still my last decision. As I always say, when it comes to the man, if a man and a woman break up, who they gonna blame? The man. What did you do? I know I did something. She might have cheated, which is the first part of this. That's what I'm saying. When you get in here, the credit will open your mind up and see these words spiritually. Verse 17. And unto Adam he said, because, here you go, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife. What do men do today? They listen to their wife. Not saying that they're listening to them for, some have good advice, but when it comes to listening to him for evil, because he listened to him to go against his law, that's the problem. It's not just because he listened to his wife. This was wrong with a lot of men today. Man, I'm the man, and this and that. When I say go, and all, whatever, they just have to think. No, you're supposed to be one. See, that's the point people don't understand. If you and your wife are one, y'all think as one. Y'all be as one. If she got an idea, share it with you. Bam, y'all work together on it. If you got an idea, you share it with her, and she might have something to go with that to be your helpmeet to make it better. Bam, that's together, but you make the last decision. But if you know it's something wrong and you listening to her, if she persuade you, no different than here. If she persuade you, come on, let's go steal this, and you following her, you did no different than what she did right here. If she persuading you to do things that's evil, wrong, against the law, and against the concept of men when it comes to doing something right, she got you out here going, man, go hit him, go do this, doing something evil. That's no different what the woman did right here in the book. Making him, or she ain't make him. She persuaded him, but he did it. See, no one can make you do anything. Thank you, Father. I brought this out tonight. No one can make you do anything, especially a woman. She can't make you do anything. She have a lot of mouth. And if she like that, like you talk about the woman, you rather be in the rooftop of walk than the, get out of my house. That's, to me, a woman that's disrespectful to you, that's the cause for a bill of divorcement. Write that bill of divorcement, show you that no, we and you ain't together no more, wrap it up, put it in her hand, bye, get out of my house. We done. That's why the bill of divorcement was made. Because when you come together, everybody knows they come, there's a celebration, they have a party, and y'all next thing y'all compilate, everybody know y'all together. Y'all don't know, y'all don't do no vows and all that other stuff in front of no preacher and go and get the system still. The system got everybody fooled. That's the problem we have today. The system got everybody, which is the serpent. The system is the serpent. And people can see that. If y'all can really see, the world would change. If y'all can see the system is the serpent, and if the woman that's with a man, y'all get together and build together, it won't be no more them against us. It'll be us building what we're supposed to do, and they'll fall off. We ain't got to go against them. We just got to do what we got to do. I don't have to worry about you and what you got and what you need. I don't got to do nothing with you. My main thing is me and my family, and what we're going to do is here. And if everybody did that, mind their own business and get out of everybody else's business on social media and everybody else and handle your own business, this would be a better world. Everybody's in each other business. That's the problem we have today. And social media is just feeding it to you. And y'all just gobbling it up. That's the problem. But hey, let's get back to the situation here. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and has eaten of the tree, which is you disobeyed me. That's what he's saying. Of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not. Thou shalt, when he say thou shalt not do these things, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet, thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not. Commandment right there. That's commandment. Make sure I put this right here. Thou shalt not. I'll make sure I have this. Not eat of it. Then what he say? Cursed is the ground for thy sake. For your sake, the ground is cursed. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. A lot of people don't know that this right here is our wealth. This right here, you don't see money nowhere in here. People are still running after the system for what they want. Our wealth is the ground. Law, which is land, air, and water. That's what the Creator gave us. This system made funds, money, and all that stuff. Now, the gold and stuff is tangible. The gold, silver, brass, and all that other stuff, copper, that's tangible. That's wealth. We can make things and do things with these things, but people taking money, and money is more important than anything else. And you know something? People won't find out. Like I used to say when I was in Atlanta, if you were coming from a long trip and you got two doors, one had food on it, one had money on it, but you starving. You gonna go get the money or you gonna go get the food? And there's nothing else around for you to buy. You just got the food and the money. Remind me of Midas. Got the Midas touch. Everything he touched turned to gold. Didn't know that when he started touching food, it was gonna turn to gold and he can't eat. Starved to death. And people are gone with the system. This is the point. Right here. This is the system. And the system got the people's mind. Money, money, money. Now, money is good in this day and time. I'm not saying we don't use it, don't observe it, whatever. But what I'm saying is people they running after money so much they can't see. They're running blindly after it, and they can't even see the Father's word. And you know something else? What I'm gonna get into, and I might as well just say it right now before I get off of here, since this is where I'm at. ChatGPT has become the god of the world today. Everybody is on ChatGPT this, ChatGPT that, ChatGPT. How many of y'all went into the word? How many of y'all are meditating? How many of y'all are trying to seek the Creator's word? How many of y'all trying to seek the spirit of the Creator? ChatGPT is laying everything out for you, still controlled by the system. They give you only so much. But ChatGPT has become the God of the people today. I was looking at this brother last night, named something Johnson or whatever. I think his name was Johnson. Had a nice big full beard, all white. He was being interviewed, and he was talking about, yeah, man, everything I do is of God, and this and that of God, and this and that, right? He used the scriptures, and he was pretty good. He was pretty good with Genesis 1:1. He was pretty good with that, right? Sound like, okay, yeah, it's good. Let me switch you up real quick because you a little low. I'm gonna make sure you don't. Let me switch you up. Excuse me, y'all. There we go. And there we go. There we go. Now make sure you don't doubt me. So, like I said, this brother named something Johnson. I've got Johnson, whatever. I'm sorry, but I forgot his name. But he was talking. I think, man, he was talking big money. You know, man, and these people talking about. I'm talking about big money. $10,000 more than that a month, and this and that. They were talking about big money. You know, I'm not putting down, and I'm not hating on them. I'm not putting them down. I'm not hating on them. I'm just talking about what's going on. So he was talking to me, said, well, just ask ChatGPT. If you got a business, just say, well, ask ChatGPT, well, what should I do and what makes it better? And then once ChatGPT gave you that, then just tell me, well, what makes you better at that? Well, what makes it better? He's asking ChatGPT all the information he needs to know to make his business better, and not about it's not bad about making it, but the whole thing, they run the ChatGPT for everything. People are going chat G. And you know what? What crossed my mind before I go, since we at the end of this point on Adam and Eve, I'm gonna get back to that point in a few moments. But this reminds me, and I remember of Atlantis, right? I remember reading and hearing and understanding in the age of Atlantis, they got so advanced in technology and things like that till they forgot the creator. They got so advanced in technology, they were doing all kinds of stuff, had all kinds of stuff, building and I mean a lot of great things in the time of Atlantis. Great, beautiful, and they had everything good, but they forgot the creator because their tech, same as today. Tech, the technician, the techs, and all the stuff that they were doing was phenomenal. And the creator destroyed all that. No different than what's coming. Why? Because the creator is a jealous father. He's jealous. And people are so far into everything else and they ain't taking time for the creator. The creator even said, 6 days do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thou is man and woman. He ain't say thou and thy wife, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy ox, or thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yah made heaven and earth and the sea, and the seventh day he rested. How many people are resting? How many people are still working on the Sabbath day? How many people is even giving glory to him and trying to find out what he said in his word? That's what I'm saying. And you know what, far as I'm concerned, let's just say, ChatGPT, you still did all that, but still not taking the time out to give him that full day of rest. That goes to show ChatGPT is the God of today. And it's not the New World Order, it's part of the world order that's already new. New World Order started in 1933. That's what we're going to get into, not that in general, but that and a lot of history we're going to get into in part two. So, right now, I'd just like to say that, wait a minute, before I do that, let me just finish verse 17. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. Mm-hmm. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it, in sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Today, we ain't barely eating from the ground. We eating all kind of man-made GMO and all kind of stuff today. In sorrow because we can't eat real food. 18. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herbs of the field. Thorns and thistle shall it bring forth to thee. And that's a lot of thorns and thistles in our life, the things we go through. And thou shalt eat the herbs of the field. Mm-hmm. Of the field. We're going to have to go out there and find things right out here by our house we have, and we don't even know. 19. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread till thou return until the ground. You see what I'm saying? In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread. And say, till thou return to the ground, unto the ground, for thou for out of it was thou taken, for thus thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. The form of man, not the imagination. The imagination is of the Creator. And Adam called his wife name. I like to say it's Eve there, but I call her evil. You knew what you was doing. She knew what she was doing. Eve is short for evil to me. Why did he call it Eve in the beginning? Why after all this happened, he say, Eve, you evil trick. You know what I want to call her. Start with a B. But the fact is, she persuaded him and he allowed it. That was his fault. But she knew not to do it. And Adam called his wife name Eve because she was the, see, now you see it's a semicolon there. Then it says, because she was the mother of all living. See, that was, far as I'm concerned, that was just an excuse to put the rest of it there. I'm just saying, you know. Didn't say God said anything right there. It just said, and Adam called his wife name Eve because she was the life, the mother of all living. The creator didn't say nothing there, but it just said Adam called his wife that. I still think he called her evil. And majority of the women are that way. Not majority, a lot of them are that way because of the enmity that they hold. 21. Unto Adam also and to his wife did Yah make coats of skin, just like a father would that he still love his children. He saw everything from the beginning, like I said. He knew it was going to happen. That's why the tree was sitting in front of him. The creator didn't have to have that tree sitting in the middle of the garden. But he knew what he said, and I would do all my pleasure. But they had to start it. He didn't make them do it. Everything is at a cost. Everything is at a choice. That tree sat in the middle of the garden. He just told him don't touch it. You choose to touch it. You choose to eat from it. Everything you do is a choice, whether it's good or if it's evil. You chose to do it. So you can't blame nobody for what you do. But the Creator used you for what you do to do his bidding. So if you choose to do good, he'll use your good for his bidding. But if you choose to do bad, that's why I say the Father don't make you do anything. You have a choice. Whatever your choice is, you're going to carry out your choice according to his bidding. A lot of people don't look at it like that. But whatever you do, that's on you. All right. Unto Adam also and unto his wife did Yah make coats of skin and clothe them, and then expulsion from the garden. I'm gonna go from there. That's when he kicked them out the garden. So right now, I just want to share with you that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwell, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. And what we're going to do first, we're going to pause Zoom for part one. This is the end of part one. And this is called history, right? We went from the past, talking about prophecy of the future, and letting you see the past in the future. And we get ready to move to part two, which in today's time. So we getting ready to pause this real quick. I thank you for your time, Zoom. We'll be right back with part two. Peace. All right. What's up? What's up? What's up? Greetings, family, friends, in the world. This is part two of Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. This is part two of Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. And tonight we're talking about history. We're talking about history tonight. And also, this is Because Not the Truth. And the day before coming into the night was September 17th, 2025. The day was September 17th, 2025. We're here tonight sharing information about history. And this is Mikhail's Knowledge of Truth. We're here every quote unquote night after Monday. We call it Monday night, but night after Monday at 9 p.m. And I was just going through history a few moments ago. After I did the prayer, history just hit me in my mind, right? And then I was getting ready to speak on things that's going on in this day and time, which is about the 1933 when the birth certificate, social security card, and ID card came in effect, which the bankers came together, put together. The things that has happened in time past, which 1933 was the beginning of the New World Order. Excuse me, the New World Order at this time. And I was sharing at the beginning of that. At the beginning of that, I mentioned a name. I would like for y'all to do some homework, and I'm gonna share some homework with y'all tonight. This is part two of history. Now, part one, we went into prophecy of history to give an understanding of what's going on today according to what happened then, and I show you the facts according to today by what was written in the beginning. So I show you spiritually today by what was spoken of in the beginning according to gender. This is what I did in part one. Just I like to give a recap um, in Genesis chapter 1, as I shared, that Genesis 1 1 through 5, the first day, was spiritual when the Creator seen everything, when He made the light, when He separated darkness and things like that at that time. You can go back and check that out. I went from there, and from there went through the making of woman, which is a man and a woman, and how they were supposed to conduct themselves compared to what has happened, and how the system, which is the serpent, actually manipulated the woman, which manipulated the man to be in the position that they're in today. Go back, check that information out. I started there, and it lasted longer than I expected, but I gave a clear understanding of what happened, how it happened, and where we are in today's time according to that story. You can always use examples of what's going on today according to what has happened, and that's actually prophecy of what's going on today. Now, I'm gonna bring it a little bit more home today of where we at today, according to the New World Order, the things that has happened, and some names that I would like for y'all to do some research on. I call myself printing it out, but it didn't print out. Only one of the things printed out came out, but I got other information that didn't end up coming up, and it's probably gonna come out later. But it didn't print out. I don't know why. But I would like for y'all to look up Adam Weishaupt. Adam Weishaupt, the founder of Illuminati, which is the founder of the the Jesuits, um, the things that's going on in the world today, and the way the world is being ran. Your children and everybody is growing up in a system this of the New World Order. And I'm going to give you some details from what I remember reading about Adam Weishaupt back in the 90s, in the late 90s. I read about him. I don't know what brought me to look him up. I don't know what it was. It was the creator. I had no I don't know why I say it like that. It had to be the creator that brought me to look at it, to look it up and check it out, right? So hold on one moment. Why these babies stopped? Ugh, yes, it wasn't up. That might have blew. But my wife knew something about this. Well, my blew a fuse. I had two little heaters on. I'm upstairs now in our new studio. It was the studio we planned on making when I first got here. So we're moving in upstairs in the room where we at to make the studio. So it's a little cold up here. So we just got to make it happen. So it's going to come about. But other than that, as I was saying, Adam Weishaupt, look him up, pull the name up. His Adam Weishaupt is Weishaupt. Wieg. I forgot how to spell his name, but it's Adam Weishaupt. They say he was a philosopher, but him and his children, I'm telling you what I remember. I'm going by what I remember. I told you I remember stuff from here, from what I did my research, right? And Adam Weishaupt, I ended up reading about him. He is the founder of the Illuminati, is the founders, they say he was a philosopher. Things has changed since when I read it. Like I said, I was going to the library. I was doing a lot of research in my past. So it's a lot of things that's to me that's been changed to suit the narrative to make things look different than what it was. I do know from what my reading was, Adam Weishaupt, he had I think seven children. And he made a plan with them to become, be rich or whatever, how it came about. Um, one of the sons married his sister because they wanted to keep the money in the family. I remember that. Um, one of the sons married his sister. Also, as time went on, they had a plan about the new world order. They wanted to start it sooner than it happened. And it was a plan that this guy was on a horse, and he was riding a horse, and he was going to take the plan somewhere to get it started, and the creator act of Yah, act of God, struck the man off the horse, killed the man, act of God that happened. If y'all read up on Adam Weishaupt, check out the story. That's one. I'm gonna break some stuff down to you right now before I go off into anything. So I'm just gonna give y'all some homework to check out some history about the reason why I went into Genesis 1 through 5, shall I say. Genesis 1 through 5. I went through that to show you that the Father seen everything from beginning to end. He seen everything he saw from beginning to end. And I shared that, and I'm not going to go back into it because I have to break it down again. So he shared it, and then I went to Isaiah chapter 46 and 7, 8, 8, 9, and 10 to break that down to share. And it talked about us being the transgressors. So I'm not going to go in there. I'm trying not to go there because I've started getting in there to break it down. I'm trying to go on further than where we are. You can go back and read that information if you like. And I shared a lot of information about the system today and how we are of the system, how the system manipulated our women and how women manipulated the man at that time, and to be in the position that we're in today, and how why the women are in the position they are in today because of the system. The system is the serpent. I always like to give a recap before I move on. Now, as I was saying, Adam Weishaupt is one to do your homework on. Check him out, research it, check it out, right? That's one. It was bankers in 1933 that came up with the concept of the birth certificate, social security card, and ID card. When they came up with that in 1933, and I even had a video in 1934. I have a video. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in the post since I'm thinking about it. I have a video when a woman is sharing that in 1934 they used the educational system to educate the people to become slaves into the system. No different than what I'm about to share with you. They educated the people to become slaves to the system. How did they do it? What do you do? What's the difference between work and going to school? The only difference is at work you're working, at school you're learning for to take care of the system. And what do I mean by that? You leave home, you go to school, right? After going to school, you go to class. After going to class, you go to lunch. After going to lunch, you go back to class. Then from class, you go home. Once you go home, you do whatever you do outside the rest of that day. Then you get some rest and get up and repeat it again for 12 grades or until you get out of college. But I want to give you something else on college situation. But I'm just gonna go with this and work, man. I'm gonna jump to the college. I did this information and shared it some time ago. Go to school, get up, go to school, go to lunch, back to class, then home. What you do when you get out of school and you start going to work? You get up, you go to work. You have a lunch. Sometimes you have a break, 15-minute break, what have you. But you have a 30-minute to hour lunch, back to work, then home. Same thing, same cycle, same cycle. But what are you doing? You are learning careers. They used to teach you to learn a trade. When we was coming up, you would learn a trade to take care of you, learn how to build homes and things like that. Now everything is about careers. A career does what? A career helps another business build off of your labor. A career helps build this system off of your labor. What you do builds this system off of your cash you're getting paid from. I'm going to leave it there. It's a lot more that goes to this, but this is a private matter. But I'm just going to say this. The funds you make from the job you do, you're making it from yourself. That's all I'm going to say. Because that's a private matter. But I wanted to put that in your ear. If you want to know more information, you have to go come to our private class and come to learn information. Not come and sit down and you're coming to learn because this is educational where we at. But other than that, you're paying yourself to work. I'm just leave like that one more time. So when you like I say, so you're working, the system is training you to work to build the system. And this is a well-oiled machine because as long as Morpheus said, it uses you, I don't have one. Don't have one. It uses you as a battery. Let's just say it uses you as a battery, right? So this system uses you as a battery because once you used up, what it do? Go your way, get somebody else to put in your place, another battery. And once you used up, use somebody else to put in your place, another battery. Once you used up, the system continues, but you're long, old, dead, and gone. But everything else is still going on. System still going on smooth. The schooling system now that I done got past the now I got past the going to school, going to work. Now let's get to the college. Let's get to the college situation. You're paying to go to a college to learn something. And you know something, me and one of my sisters had a conversation about this today. Had a couple of conversations about it, but let's just say this. You go to college. You go to college, right? You pay $400 for a book. Let's just say $400, right? That you're going to only use maybe less than maybe this much of, maybe. But you're studying all that, but when you take your test, it may not be nothing but a couple of pages for tests that you're learning. You're learning all this stuff for what? Are you going to use it throughout life? The stuff you're going to use at college to learn, which is taking up your time, which is really taking up your time, your life, but it's getting paid off of you. You're paying them to learn something that they're really not going to use, but put you in the workforce for you to pay them back. People ain't paying no attention. You go to work, you go to college to pay them back when you get out. That's what you're doing. When you go to college, you're going to college, you think you're learning something. You may be learning something. But how many people go into the field that they're learning? How many people really go in the field? A lot of people go to college and end up being at McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. Very few gets into the craft that they learn. Very few, right? And majority of the time, that if you get there, it's because of your Greek hood. Your Greek hood, right? History, Greek. What I mean by Greek? Sororities and fraternities. Alpha and all these gangs, your gangs that you get with. Your organized gangs. Sweet! Whatever they say. It's organized gangs. Y'all ain't out here fighting or nothing like that, but y'all hold down positions for people in your gang to get a job to keep this system going well organized. Still part of the system. And all of it is of the Roman Empire. This is what y'all fail to realize. The Roman Empire is engulfed over it and nobody can see because that's the umbrella. The umbrella of the Roman Empire, everybody else is running under it like ants, doing whatever they're doing, living their life, not paying what's going on. But the Roman Empire is over it all, overseeing everything. History in a folded way that you've never seen it before. This is all history. The history is I already gave you the ones who's in charge, which is Adam Weishaupt. This is where your schools is set up from. Adam Weishaupt, and Adam Weishaupt is the founder of the Illuminati, which is the quote unquote ones in charge of everything that's going on. And everybody else that's a part of that organization is no different than the part of the gang that when you in your SUI and all that fraternities and all that other stuff. It's nothing but a big organization. Everybody's connected. Everybody's connected. But you got gangs here, gangs there, gang. You got different gangs, but everybody's connected one way or another. They're different gangs. Yeah. They may not be, they organize gangs. They may not be violent. May not be harsh, but they're gangs. The system is a well organized, oiled machine. And this oil machine is made of iron. Iron runs good when it's oiled down, like the Tin Man, right? EIN, you know? Um, it, Man, it is really when your mind opens up to see the real truth of what's going on around the world, what has happened, and the whole world is engulfed in it, and they cannot even see it. You try to tell some people about it, they will fight you tooth and nail. And I'm at the point where, okay, I'm just here to give you a message, and if I give it to you, you take it fine. If not, fine. But the point is, the whole world has been deceived. The awakening is going on right now. If you want it, it's for you. If it's not, if you don't, hey, it's not for you. I'm thankful to the Creator. He has me where I am and to know where I am and to do what I need to do to allow those to see the things they need to see. I thank you, Almighty Yah. I praise you, Almighty Yah. I said I would do what I'm doing, and I believe I'm doing it. Only you know if I'm doing it to your best of standard. But I thank you for allowing me to be and do the will that I promised to you that I would do. And I think I'm doing all right. But hey, I can't make the people listen. I can only give it. And I'm glad you shared that with me back in '95. Was that '95? 95 and 96, but I think it was not 95, 2005. You said if I brought you to the truth, you're putting the songs right, give it to the world. Right then, I was like, oh, okay, then I'm good. If I put it out there, you get it, fine. If you don't, fine. The Creator allowed me to know a great deal of information of different genres of lot across the board. I don't brag, but I know a lot, and I'm thankful to know what I know. But I don't know everything. I'm gonna tell you that. I don't know everything. If I don't know, I tell you what I don't know. But what I do know, I'll let you know. But like I'm saying, Adam Weishaupt, check him out, read up on him so you can so you can have an understanding of history. All right, that's one thing. Where else I want to go? Because I'm going to lay down some things for y'all to. It's up to y'all to do the research. I'm just going to lay it down for you to check it out. All right, and I'm gonna show you some stuff too, since you're right here. I really Matter of fact, yeah, this is one of them right here. Last week, I would urge everyone to go. I did last week. Me and G1 did last week. We did he shared some information out of Chat GG about Chat GBT, and I shared information on history concerning um who the beast is, who and what the beast is, and which is I called it Revelation 13 in full. Revelation 13 in full. I urge everyone to go check that out. That was last week, which I believe was the 10th. Today the 17th, so I think that was the 10th. Um, please go check that out. That was on Mikael's Knowledge of Truth last week. If you get time, please check that out. I urge you to do that and get your book with you and check out the information that G1 shared about ChatGPT. And then when I came back and shared information according to it as well. I think it was very informative for people who's looking for knowledge and to know things that's going on in this day and time past. As I said, Adam Weishaupt. Now, before Adam Weishaupt, we had was it before or after? No, this is before Adam Weishaupt. I'm gonna give you a little bit of information here. This is this is in the Bible though. This is stuff that's in the Bible where when to go in that one. Now, last week I shared information that people, like I said, history. This is information people don't know about because it's history that's not in the Bible. I've done research and done research. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff I know that I not only that I've done research. I'm not gonna say that I've no. I learned from my teachers. I learned from people. I learned from studying, researching, going to the library, debating. I don't debate no more, but I do have conversation, and I try not. If reason I say I don't debate, if you're right about something, I will agree with you. Debaters, to me, they're quick to just prove a point. If you're right, I say I'm right, but I add to what you're saying, or I just share the point of view of where you're going. I don't try to change nobody's mind. I give information of what I come to know, but my ears are always open for that. Like I shared in part one about the Ethiopian book. I was listening to that, and it was a guy that so far it was less than even half into the story. This guy heard this someone came to him and told him Jesus was supposed to be there, and he believed it, and this is where the Ethiopian book took off at. See what I'm saying? So this is what I mean by studying to know. When you study to know, you understand things other than what people just give to you or put in your face, like the Council of Nicaea did with the New Testament, right? So, with this, I went through it last week. I should go through it again. Mm, mm. But what I'm gonna do is this: I'm gonna give you certain points of view. I'm not gonna go through it right here. What occurred at the Council of Nicaea, and also they got the great scheme. What was the great scheme? What happened at the Council of Constantinople, right? This information I've read years ago. That's why I'm telling you about things I come to know. This information, but what I haven't found and I lost, I will share this with you. Some people have read it and they don't, but the whole point is they don't put the two and two together. The mind don't connect. Wait a minute. Why is this? Why is that? It's something that I read that a lot of people don't understand. And I think it spoke about that in the information about the Ethiopian book. I think it kind of mentioned it in there in that in the information that they were sharing in that. The reason I'm saying that is because I remember them mentioning it, and they talked about it was a lot of gospels. It was a lot of gospels they had under a table, right? This was before they came up with the New Testament and the four God spells. When you look up, wait a minute now, I might have it over here. But actually, might not be in this one. Might have it. Let me see, because I want to read this to you if I got it right here. The gospel. What does the word gospel mean? Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Nope. Oh boy, I don't have it here. But I actually have it. Actually, my phones are occupied, so let me see. No, this is other information. Okay. This last one. No. This year is nope. That's other information that I'm going to be submitting. But gospel. The gospel only means good news, good story, or good telling. It's only a story. That's what God spell means. God-spell. God spell. It's a spell that the creator put on everyone. I'm gonna say it like that. But through the Roman Empire. It's a spell. You have to do your research and look up in the etymology dictionary. Etymology dictionary will give you the understanding what gospel mean, right? Excuse me. Etymology dictionary give you that information. But it only means good news, good telling, or a good story. And the Romans was good for that. This is stuff that people don't know. They don't research and they don't find out. And if they look at it, they don't look at it for what it is. They look at it for what they want it to be. That's the problem we have today. They want things to be something that's not. So that's the gospel. Um, they had many of writings under a table, the Council of Nicaea. And they said the writing that end up on top of the table, we're going to make those the next day. They said the next day we're going to close the door, lock the door, and whatever ends up on top of the table the next day, excuse me, whatever ends up on top of the table the next day, we're going to start off the New Testament with that. That's where your Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John came from. Okay, there we go. That's where your Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John came from. This one charged up a little bit. So when your Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John came from the God spells, and this is the God that they gave you, which is Jesus in the New Testament. Because if you look in the authorized King James Version, you'll see the word Ilzus, Iesus. And that word Iesus comes from the Babylonian god Ea and the Greek god Zeus. They combined the name Ea and Zeus. Now I learned this from one of my first teacher when I was in Mississippi, named by Robert Robert Divine. Robert Divine. His name is Rabbi R. Divine. It is Rabbi R. Divine in Jackson, Mississippi, where I was under his tutelage from 96, beginning of 96 till I believe that was maybe 2002. Maybe. I may have went there before then. I may have been before then, could have been. But at least to 2001 or 2002. No, I think it was 2002 because I think I was still there because 2001, well, 99, I did a conference, I did a video at Jackson State, 2000. I end up going to Jackson State, being a dance choreographer. Been a dance choreographer for the which I say dance aerobics for the summer for the children in 2000 and 2001. And it was in 2001 or 2002 when I ended up going to Shalom. So just was sharing, but Rabbi Artivine shared that information about Ea and Zeus. That's where I grew. That's where I was learning that from. Learned that there, and from the research. And he was a phenomenon teacher when it came to information. But that's where I learned that from. Ea and Zeus, Ea Zeus, in the authorized King James Version, and then in the revised King James Version, after they came put the J in the English alphabet, then they changed the I to a J and they made it Jesus. But if you notice in Revelation 13, verse 14 and 15, it talks about an image made to the beast. The image is Jesus made to Christianity. You can't get Christianity without Jesus. You can't get Christianity without Jesus. You can't get Jesus without Christianity. Let me see if I got enough energy over here for Instagram. Oh, sorry about sorry about that, y'all. And here we go. You need some energy over here, so I have to switch y'all up. That wasn't true. There we go. It wasn't. There we go. All right. So let's get you popping. Facebook, Instagram. So as I was saying that as I was saying that Izus is in the authorized King James version, which is the 1611. But in the in the authorized King James version, that was authorized. In the revised King James version, you got Jesus, right? So now that we have Jesus, and then they say they made an image to the beast, an image to Rome, which is Christianity. That image is Jesus, which people is changing from Jesus to Yahshua or whatever. But the point is, they made the image in order for it to be worldwide. It's worldwide. Am I right? Do your history, do your research, and find out what I'm sharing with you. Go in these Bibles and check them out. Actually, the Gospel of Marcion is something that a lot of people don't know about. Maybe y'all should check them out. Priority of the Gospel of Marcion. Marcion is someone. Now, my other teacher, which I could say my third teacher, my second or third, what have you, because the teacher that was after I left Rabbi Divine went to Herman Taylor, who actually Divine brother Rabbi Divine taught. He started learning under Elisha. So really, it's looked like Divine. I mean, Robert Divine or Rabbi R. Divine and Brother Elisha is really those two teachers. It's just that Brother Herman Taylor was learning from him, far as I'm concerned, and far as I know, after we moved to Shalom, where he was at. But Brother Elisha was out of Cincinnati, Ohio. The Brother Divine was out of Jackson, Mississippi. I was with him for 8 to 10 years. I'll say it like that. Then I was with Shalom, which was under the tutelage of the information of Brother Elisha. And Elisha was really sharing more information about the breakdown. And he's the one who actually talked to me about Marcion. This is priority of Marcion. You ought to look him up. Look up Marcion. Find out more information about him. This is stuff people may not know because this is history that people don't know about. If you're just reading the Bible, everything isn't in the Bible. It's information out there that we need to know about, we need to research, and we need to find out. Because things has been made and laid out, and there's a lot of things that's around us that we don't know about. So the more we research, the more we know, the more we know, the more we'll find. And more truth will be revealed. So let's give a little bit of information on Marcion for what we have here at the moment. Now, we'll go from here. I'm just gonna give a little bit on Marcion, so I'm gonna go into what happened at the Council of Nicaea. But actually, they say that they got their information from Marcion, from what I've what's been shared. But priority of the Gospel of Marcion, 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 the Gospel of Marcion or Marcion, what have you. But some scholars believe the hypothesis of the chronicle priority of the Gospel of Marcion is a possible solution to the synoptic problem. This hypothesis claims that the first produced or compiled Gospels was that of Marcion, and that his of this gospel of Marcion was used as inspiration for some or all of the canonical gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. See that? I'm going to say that last part again. This gospel of Marcion was used as inspiration for some or all of the canonical gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. A contemporary proponent of this hypothesis is Matthias Kinglart. Contents: Marcion Sinope 80 point 85 BCE, I believe, or 85 AD to 160, is the founder of the Christian movement called Marcionism. See that? Marcionism. See, this is information people don't know about until you pull it up and check it out. Marcionism. Marcion is regarded by numerous scholars as having produced the first New Testament canon. The first New Testament canon. He also wrote a gospel or adopted a pre existing one called the Evangelion, now commonly called the Gospel of Marcion. Evangelion, now commonly called the Gospel of Marcion. Church fathers say Marcion wrote the Gospel of Marcion himself, and that the Gospel of Marcion is a revision of the Gospel of Luke, with some passages expunged from it to find Marcion's theology as hypothesis in say on the relationship between the Gospels of Marcion and of Luke is called a pastoristic hypothesis. Patristic hypothesis. However, this is not the only hypothesis. Some argue that the Gospel of Marcion precedes the Gospel of Luke, and that the Gospel of Luke is a revision of the Gospel of Marcion. Others argue that the Gospel of Marcion and the Gospel of Luke are two independent versions of a canon source, and that the Gospel of Marcion is an unaltered version of this source, or is more faithful to this source than the Gospel of Luke, is. Others go further and consider that the Gospel of Marcion was the very first gospel ever produced, preceding all others, including the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Marcion hypothesis. There has been a long line of scholars who, against what the church fathers said, claim that our canonical Luke forms an enlarged version of a proto-Luke, which was also used by Marcion. This dispute was especially vivid in 19th century German scholarship. In 1942, John Knox published his Marcion and the New Testament, defending that the Gospel of Marcion had the chronicle priority over Luke. After this after this publication, no defense of this theory was made again until 2006 articles. One of Joseph Tyson and one of Mathis Kinghart. Knox and Tyson believed that Marcion used and falsified Proto-Luke, while Kinghart, who at the time did not defend that the Gospel of Marcion was the very first gospel ever produced, asserted that Marcion used Proto-Luke as he found it that is found it. That is, Marcion's gospel and Proto-Luke are identical, right? And this was in 2000 and made again to 2006. All right. Because this is just talking about publications here. Now, that was Marcion and information on it, but I didn't get a chance to share with y'all the little illustration that they made. Check this out. If y'all can see it. Gospel of Marcion. Marcion on top, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John at the bottom. Marcion on top. Matthew, Mark, Luke. That's a little illustration that they had there. So just wanted y'all to see that. Y'all can do your own research on the priority of Marcion or the Gospel of Marcion. Y'all can look that up. Now I got a little bit of information on Luke, right? Luke dash Acts. Luke was supposed to be the one who wrote the book of Luke and the book of Acts. All right? Let me read that to you. Luke dash Acts is the composite work of the gospel according to Luke and the Acts of the Apostles in the New Testament. Both of these books of the Bible are credited to Luke. See, both these books of the Bible are credited to Luke. They also describe the narrative of those who continue to spread Christianity. You see that? Ministry of Jesus and the subsequent ministry of the apostle and the apostolic age. See, they pushed this. By them pushing this, and in Second Thessalonians, second chapter, at verse 7, it says, um, the mystery of iniquity doers already work. Third and fourth generation. Second Testament, second commandment in Exodus chapter 20, verse 4, actually in verse 5. When it says, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, thou shalt not make any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, earth beneath, or waters under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For Yah thy father am a jealous father, visiting the iniquity, the ignorance upon the fathers, upon the parents, upon the third Greek and fourth Roman generation of them that hate me, but showing mercy, grace unto thousands that love me and keep my commandments. This is the third and fourth generation. This is when the iniquity iniquity doeth already work. Second Thessalonians, second chapter, 7 through 12. So I just read Luke Acts Luke down to the apostolic age, authorship. Both the books of Luke and Acts are narratives written to a man named Theophilus. The book of Acts started out with the former I don't know if that's trustees or trustees, but the former trustees with Treatise have I made. probably referring to the Gospel of Luke. The view that they were written by the same person is virtually unanimous among scholars. Luke-Acts has sometimes been presented as a single book in published Bibles or New Testaments. For example, the original New Testament, 1985, and the books of the Bible, 2007. Luke is the longest of the four Gospels and the longest book in the New Testament. You see that? Luke. Together with Acts of the Apostles, it makes up a two-volume work from the same author. You look at that. Called Luke-Acts. The cornerstone of Luke-Acts theology is salvation history. The author's understanding that God's purpose is seen in the way he has acted and will continue to act in history. You see that? God's purpose, look at that. The author understanding that God's purpose is seen in the way that he acted, that he has acted and will continue to act in history. Composition and settings. It divides the history of first century Christianity into three stages, with the gospel making up the first two of these. You see that? With the gospel making up the first two of these, the arrival among men of Jesus, the Messiah, from his birth to the beginning of his earthly mission in the meeting with John the Baptist, followed by his earthly ministry, passion. You see that? Passion, death, and resurrection. The Gospels source are thought to be the Gospel of Mark for the narrative of Christ's earthly life. Hypothetical saying collection called the O source, and a collection of material called the L for Luke source, which is found only in this gospel. The work is Hellenized. You ain't charging? Oh, the one. There's one plugged up. Okay. The work is Hellenized and written for a Gentile audience, possibly. For a Gentile audience, possibly, in part, to counter a gnostic understanding of history. Marcion, a famous second century heretic, you see that? Marcion, a famous second century heretic who used a modified form of Luke known as the Gospel of Marcion, did not use Acts, perhaps because he was unaware of it or intentionally excluded it from his biblical canon. Arianism, a proto-orthodox apologist, is the first to use the mentioned acts specifically against Marcionism. Criticism. Christopher Hayes contended that King Large's 2006 case makes a number of physiological errors, misunderstands the nature of how Marcion is uh, contended to have redacted Luke, and offers an inconsistent cause on how he views that Luke had redacted Marcion. For example, while one argument of Marcionite priority over Luke rests on the claim that it is unlikely that Marcion deleted significant portions of Luke rather than Luke having expanded significant portions of Marcion's, Hayes that Marcion also deleted significant portions of Paul's letters. You see that? To create his apostolicon. Thus, Hayes sees it as special pleading to acknowledge that Marcion edited it down Paul and to also hold that Marcion did not edit down Luke. In addition, Moll says that all surviving sources say that Marcion is the one who edited Luke, and therefore the burden of proof is on advocate of Marcionite priority to provide the counter argument. All right, no, but what I will go into from here. This is the right area. That is where that's supposed to be at. Okay, no. Here. It's supposed to be over. Here. Yeah, it's supposed to be like that. And Luke. Just make sure I had it on here correct. Mm. There you go, just like that. All right, just want to make sure I had that together. Now, a little bit more on this Luke situation. Both of these the same thing, but I got yeah. Both of these the same thing. I just said this right here has got less information on it. It's cut off. But this right here, y'all see what I'm about to read. It says, Luke is an interesting writer. Check this out. Luke is an interesting writer because he did not know Jesus Christ personally. Now, how you going to write a story and have the longest book in the Bible, the New Testament, which is Luke, the longest book in there, and you didn't know him, and you're going to give this big story like you know him? You got to understand the difference. Excuse Luke is an interesting writer because he did not know Jesus Christ personally. He became a follower after they say, the Lord's death when Paul taught him the gospel. You see that? Paul didn't even know him because Paul was young. Paul was a little boy when they killed Steve. They killed Stephen, or Stephen, whatever his name was. Stephen. They stoned him to death. Paul grew up persecuting the people. He had an epiphany, as they say, according to their story. Then Paul taught Luke and what was it? Paul, Barnabas. Barnabas taught John, whose surname was Mark, right? And not Barnabas taught John, whose surname was Mark, and Paul taught Luke. So how are they going to give stories about something they don't know? So again, Luke is an interesting writer because he did not know Jesus Christ personally. Jesus never existed. You see what I'm saying? That's why he can go around and tell a story about something he don't know. Matter of fact, if you go to Luke chapter 3, I believe it is, you'll see where he gives a genealogy, and you don't see Solomon in there. You can see where he's off. Y'all don't know because people don't. This is what I mean by study. When you study, I just gave you a clue right there. Go to Luke chapter 3 and look at the genealogy of the one called Jesus. Then go to Matthew chapter 1 and look at the genealogy of Jesus and match them up. You're gonna see one coming, you don't see one going. But match them up and tell me what you get. This is where your research come in at. Now, again, one more time. Luke is an interesting writer because he did not know the prophet of the New Testament, what they call Jesus Christ, personally. He became a follower after his death when Paul taught him the gospel. Luke had been a physician, a doctor, but he left that profession to travel with Paul. He left that to travel with Paul. So now he's become a scholar. But matter of fact, he wasn't even an Israelite. Check this out. Did y'all see the last part right there? Is Luke Greek or Hebrew? Let me give you some information here. Is Luke Greek or Hebrew? Many scholars believe that Luke was a physician who lived in the Hellenistic city of Antioch. Antioch. Isn't this where they first started calling the Christians at? In the Hellenistic city of Antioch in ancient Syria, born of a Greek family. At that time, they knew who they were. Israel knew who they were, that was. They hadn't got brainwashed. Israel knew who they were. There was among different people, but he was born of a Greek family. You had melanated Greeks at one time. And don't forget, remember what I'm saying, the third and fourth generation, the Greek and the Roman Empire? Born of a Greek family, although some scholars and theologians think Luke was a Hellenistic Jew. They think he was a Hellenistic Jew. That didn't mean he was. Excuse me. Excuse me. They got another. Who wrote the Gospel of Luke? I think I got a better one than that. Nope. I'm missing some pages. That's not, I'm missing. Who wrote the Gospel of Luke? The traditional view is that the Gospel of Luke and Acts were written by the physician Luke, a companion of Paul. Many scholars believe him to be a Gentile Christian. You see that? A Gentile Christian. You see that? Though some scholars think Luke was a Hellenistic, this Luke is mentioned in Paul's epistle to Philemon. Philemon, whatever it is. Last but not least, did Luke write his own gospel? Over the centuries, numerous traditions have evolved around this somewhat shadowy evangelic Jew. Over the centuries, numerous traditions have evolved around this somewhat shadowy evangelistic Luke is credited with writing not only his gospel of the New Testament, his gospel, the New Testament book of Acts as well. He was, according to tradition, a physician and a friend, I guess a friend and a companion of Paul. But that's it for that right there, because I'm missing some paper. I gotta find where some of my stuff is at. It should have been down here, but let me put this back so I don't lose nothing. So I just gave you information on Luke right there, and I'm going in the book and show you where Luke, I'm going to find him real quick, way over in Antioch, and where he's being taught. And I think that was, I can't remember exactly, so I'm going to have to run and try to find that real quick, and I ain't trying to waste that much time. I want to, real quick on that Luke situation. My Bible is breaking down, y'all. So hold on. Okay, right here I got Acts 11:26, 2 Timothy 4:11. I got clues up here. Okay, bam. Let me hit you with this one real quick. Acts 12. Acts 12 and 25. Check this out. Okay, you about to go out. I'm gonna have to do you like this. How about that, y'all? Have to hold you up so you check me out. Over here in Acts 12 and 25, it states, and Barnabas and Saul returned from Jerusalem when they had fulfilled their ministry and took with them John, whose surname was Mark. Remember? I'm telling you that John's name was supposed to be Mark. New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They're the ones who spread these lies of all this stuff now. Acts 11:26. Let's go over here to Acts 11:26 real quick. Acts 11:26, and what we get. Over here in 11:26, it says, and when he had found him, he brought him to Antioch. And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people, and the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch. Let me make sure I give me a little. Mhm. So, so if they was called Christians first in Antioch, why they call themselves Christians? They was called that by name. Whether if it was being ridiculed or what. The point is they called them Christians. They called them Christians first in Antioch. They made a whole religion out of that situation. A whole religion. The whole world is saying, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian. But they connect that with Jesus. Where was Jesus a Christian at? You see what I'm saying? Jesus wasn't over. They said right here, it tells you right here in the book, Acts 11:26. And when he had found him, he brought him into Antioch, and it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church. All they did is to present themselves. What do you do to present yourself? All you doing is come together, lead, come together, lead, come together, lead, come together. Okay, now you're getting a name for yourself, huh? You get a name for yourself. Oh, y'all assembling every week. You come together every week. Oh, now comes the name. We gonna call them a Christian. Y'all keep coming together. Them Christians. Them Christians. That's how Christian came about. Christianity. It says it right there. Yeah. That's what they did. And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people. And the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch. That's what it's called, Christians at first. Now, we got some people saying, well, Christianity wasn't, it was over here first. Maybe the act or whatever they were doing, but the name Christian was there first. Why was it there first? Because it's a Greek title. And guess who carried that Greek title? Luke. So if it's a Greek title, how are they going to take Somebody, well, they said, well, well, we had Christianity first. Well, yeah, a lot of people had a lot of things first, but they didn't call it by that name. The Indians, what we call Indians and the Pilgrims, they invented baseball, but they didn't call it baseball. Y'all remember the story about the Christians and the natives? I'm gonna say native because they weren't Indians. The Native Americans or the natives at the time. One of them had a stick. One of them had rocks. One was throwing rocks. One was hitting it with the stick. One was throwing rocks. One was hitting it with the stick. I don't know which one was which, but I think it was the Indians had the stick, and I think the Pilgrims were throwing the rock, and then that's where baseball came from. Tell you, I know a lot of stuff. It's stuff like and that just came out of nowhere. But that's where baseball came. But it wasn't called baseball. That's how it evolved from. No different than Christianity evolved from right here in Antioch, right there in Acts 11 and 26. Let's get some more information up out of here. All right. Let's get over here to I'm gonna hit second Timothy 4 and 11 in a minute. Uh-oh. Make sure I can see you see me over here. There we go. Now, let's get over here to chapter 12. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Let's get over here. Let's finish up some more over here in Acts 11. Acts 11, I'm going to read on down all the way to 30. Call Christians first in Antioch. 27. And in these days came prophets from Jerusalem unto Antioch. And there stood up one of them named Agabus. Was that their name? Wait a minute. I think that was the name of the guy. I don't know if that's him or not. Uh, I think that was the name in the Ethiopian information that they were sharing last night that I was reading, I was listening to. I think that was the name. I think that was the name. I could be wrong, but that just hit me. And signified by the Spirit that there should be great dearth throughout the world. See that? There we go. There we go. I think this is where the Ethiopian book came in from that brother right there, or whoever he is. He ain't a brother, but. Mhm. Throughout all the world. This is another point, y'all. Remember, as I was sharing with y'all in Daniel chapter 2, verse 30, 39, at the end of 39, it said, and there shall rise up a third kingdom, which shall bear rule over all the earth. That's the Greeks. And what they're saying, uh, uh, Agabus signified by the Spirit that there should be great dearth throughout the earth, which came to pass in the days of Claudius Caesar. Claudius Caesar. You see that? They're telling you right here what happened throughout the time, how they took over the Greeks and the Roman Empire. Then the disciples, every man according to his ability, determined to send relief into the brethren which dwelt in Judea, which also did and sent it to the elders of the hands of Barnabas and Saul, whose name was Paul. Barnabas and Saul. Herod kills James and imprisons Peter. Okay. Let's see what something else I may have supposed to be looking at. See if anything else right here before I go to Second Timothy. Okay, Acts 12:25, Acts 15:31 through 36 to 40. Okay, that's coming up on the other side. Okay, we just did Acts 12:25. Um, I just did that. Looking at that, I did that. And Barnabas and Saul returned to Jerusalem when they fulfilled their ministry, and took with them John, whose surname was Mark. Mhm. Now let me go to run over here to okay, wait before Acts 15, 36 to 40. Let me see what I got. I'm glad I put some notes in here. I have to hold you because I don't have a stand for you. Instagram. Acts 15, 36 through 40. Let me see it. Let me see what you're looking at real quick. Where we at? 36 and 16. Oh, here we go. Paul and Barnabas. Here we go. Check this out. Check this out. 36 through 40. Paul and Barnabas depart company. And some days after Paul said unto Barnabas, let us go again and visit our brethren in every city where we have preached the word of the Lord and see how they do. Right? 37. And Barnabas determined to take with them John, whose surname was Mark. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. But Paul thought not good to take him with them, who departed from them from Pamphylia, I guess that is, and went not with them to the work. And the contention was so sharp between them that they departed asunder one from another. The contention was so sharp again, but they probably preaching the same word though, right? But it was sharp from them. And so Barnabas took Mark and sailed to Cyprus. And Paul chose Silas and departed. He said he chose Silas, but that was Luke. Silas was Luke. And Paul chose Silas and departed, being recommended by the brethren unto the grace of, they say, God. Something I seen over here, and I remember reading. I had to come back there, and I'm reading verse 16 through 10. This is in my footnotes. In my footnote, it stated, for the first time, the author of Acts placed himself in the narrative by means of the first person plural personal pronouns, we and us. Luke seems to join the ministry team at Toros, then at the end of chapter 16 remains at Philippi when the others leave. See that? That's when he put himself in there. And what part is it? 16:10. When it says, from start at 8. And they passing by Mysa came down to Taurus, and a vision appeared to Paul in the night. There stood a man of Macedonia and prayed him, prayed him, saying, come over to Macedonia and help us. And after this is verse 10, and after he had seen the vision, immediately we, like you said, we and us, immediately we in endeavor to go to Macedonia as assuredly gathering that the Lord has called us for to preach the gospel unto them. That was us and we, which was Luke. All right. Now let me see what we had that with that First Timothy 11, another part that I've been checking out. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Where we at? Where we at? Yeah, Second Timothy 4 and 11. Let's see if we can find that real quick. I'm just giving you points of stuff that would the way the things has been laid out. Second Timothy 4 and 11. Galatians, John. There you go, right there. Second Timothy 4 and 11. What we got? Oh, yeah, right here. Only Luke is with me. Take Mark and bring him with thee, for he is profitable for me to the ministry. They just going around like some of these people today, trying to go to other places, trying to spread their God spell, their Christianity. Some of them got killed. Y'all remember hearing about that? They went to this island and got killed. And that's a lot of times they've been doing a lot of stuff that these Christians do because they don't know what they're supposed to know. They're carrying something they don't know nothing about. They've been taught. And I thank the Father for waking me up. I'm glad I was never really a Christian, you know. I was taught to believe in a Jesus, but I was never it was just never part of my spirit. So I'm glad I shared that. And you know what? Let's see how much time we in right now. Then we're an hour and 15 minutes. No. I did the council not who what occurred at the council of Nicaea. I did that last week. Please go and check out please go and check out Revelation 13 in full. Check that out. A lot of information came out there. G1 shared some information about today. About, and matter of fact, let me go ahead and just throw some of this up. I'm just mainly talking at this point in time. I gave some scripture right then, but what I want to share with you at this point in time is this. But I do want to share this with you though. Victorious Philly D. Let me give this to y'all so y'all can do your own research on this as well. Called Vicarious. I'm going to spell it the way y'all have it. Put it in your search engine, pull it up, say it's Vicarious Philly D 666. Put that in there, which is the Pope. This is his actual title. Now I'm going to read this to you. Vicarious Philly D. Let me go ahead and see if I get some lighting on that. Vicarious Philly D. This I'm reading some information about him on to you. Vicarious Philly D. This is the name of the Pope. This is the Pope's title. And when you break this down in numeral numbers, because all numbers have a numeric number to it, this number, this title comes up to 666. This is who we're talking about. Everybody talking about 666, man. What do you say? 6-point carbon, 6-point. I can't even remember the names, but that's not what he's talking about. They said this is the number of a man. He ain't say this is the number of man. This is the number of a man. Vicarious Philly D. Vicarious Philly D, which is Vicarius. 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 One more time. Vicarius. Philly. Filii. 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 D. Dei. 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 Vicarious Filii D. In Latin, vicar or representative of the Son of God. He's supposed to be representative of the Son of God. Who made him the Son of God when he's not Israel? Israel only you have I known. Amos 3:2. Israel, but what made him representative of the Son of God? It is a phrase first used in the forged medieval donation of Constantine. See that? Forged, forged. You know what forged is, don't you? Medieval donation of Constantine to refer to Saint Peter, who is regarded as the. Did anyone come out or did I miss it? As the, like I'm missing because I had to pull the rest of that out. Vicar of the Son of God, vicar of the Son of God, or representative of the Son of God in English. Here's a more detailed explanation. Origin. The phase is in the phase is Latin. The phrase is Latin, and it's been used in the context of the Catholic Church, particularly in relation to the Pope. See that? I'll say it again. Origin. The phrase is Latin and it's been used in the context of the Catholic Church, particularly in relation to the Pope, meaning vicarious, meaning vicar or representative, while Philly D translate to of the son of the son of the son of what what is the number 666 for? What is the number 666 for? The Pope. This historical, now let me show this to y'all. So I'm not just reading. I actually had this print out. It just come out real big for some reason. What is the number 666 for? The Pope. This historical interpretation identifies the number 666 with the papal titles Vicarious Filii. Do you see that? 666 with the papal title Vicarious Filii, meaning vicar of the Son of God. Vicar of the Son of God. This phrase has been used by popes for centuries. This is some people didn't know. That's why it says that this number is this should be the number of a man, and his number shall be 666. This phrase has been used by popes for centuries to defend their celestial and temporal authority. See that? Look at this one more time. So now we actually know what the number 666 really means, not what people say and think. Because the Pope is over the he's over the Vatican and everything, but he's actually has processing over the birth certificate, social security card, and ID card. A lot of people don't know this. But you know something? Let me leave it up front. There's information out here that people need to know. If you go, this is more like a second piece. Don't forget, look up 1933. Look when the birth certificate was made. Look up when did they come out with the birth certificate, social security cards, ID card. What does 1933 is significant to? Look up. That was actually beginning of the New World Order. Everything that's going on now is a part of the New World Order as it moves on into the system. That was the beginning of the New World Order, just like you have Old Rome and New Rome. Let me break that down to you. Old Rome is what started the Council of Nicaea and the Council of Constantinople. They was fighting for 56 years, from 325 AD to 381 AD. 56 years till the deadly wound was healed. The deadly wound was Christianity. The deadly wound was the God spell. That was the deadly wound. It was healed when they got rid of the Arians. They got rid of them, they came strong, and this is where Christianity took over the earth. They made an image to the beast. You find in Revelation 13 and 14, 14 and 15, my bad. That image of the beast is Jesus. And any image anybody want to make, but Jesus is the main image, which is of Christianity, what we just read about. It's sad, but our people got to wake up. We're in the last days and time is short. I just hope this get around to a lot of people like and share this information. You know what I'm saying? So look up Adam Weishaupt, 1933. Find out all the information you can. Look up Council of Nicaea, the Council of Nicaea. What else is there? That's about all I can think of at the moment. Just to give y'all some homework to check out. And y'all go back and look at some of the things, like I said, tonight, the information I shared tonight, and also look at last week's Revelation 13. A lot of stuff gonna start coming together. And y'all gonna be able to see. Then I would really urge y'all to go and check out Deuteronomy 30 and a lot of other information. Deuteronomy 28, Deuteronomy 30. So we are the Valley of Dry Bones Awakening, and we in the day of the awakening. But as I shared in Genesis 1, 1 through 5, all this was seen in the beginning. So, other than that, I just like to share with you that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwells, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown, without a doubt. This is prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. I love y'all. I appreciate love you. And I'm carrying out my promise as much as I can, and as much as I can because I love doing it and waking our people up and letting them know. So other than that, what I will do is this. We get ready to do the benediction, and then we're gonna smile our way out. Where we at? We're at the benediction. And the benediction is this is the priestly benediction, and this is in Numbers chapter 6, verse 22 through 27. And it states, And Yah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yah bless thee and keep thee. Yah make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put Yah's name, which is his laws, upon the children of Israel, and Yah will bless them. Hallelujah. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shekebo, Bakuto Violam, Vaed. Hallelujah. Hear, O Israel, Yah our Father is one Father. Blessed be thy glorious kingdom forever and ever. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father, for the reading of your word. Allow people to see, know, and understand the information of the history that was given tonight. Let them understand it, see it, and accept it. In your holy word and spirit and all things we pray. Hallelujah. 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 Praise you Almighty. And right now, just wanted to share with everyone that if you'd like to get in contact with me, you're welcome to call or text me at 770-572-5315. That's 770-572-5315. And you also can email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. That's lkhyym@gmail.com. And if you'd like to connect with me, or shall I say, if you'd like to check out part 1 and part 2 of the information that's being shared, not just tonight, but all our part ones and part two on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. That's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can always check them out. What should I say? First on YouTube, you can always go to Juice Pro 33 on YouTube, and this is part one and part two under live. That's under the live feed. That's part one and part two on YouTube at um, JUICEPRO33. That's JUICEPRO33. You can also see part one and part two on Instagram, which is Lakaim underscore the juice, but which is spelled LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE. Again, that's LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE. You can also see part one and part two on Facebook. That's Facebook, which is Mike Mikael Harris. That's MI apostrophe CHAEL space HARRIS. That's MI apostrophe CHAEL space HARRIS. Now, those is for part one and part two. Now, if you'd like to see the full version, which I'm converting from Zoom, the full version is on YouTube as well, but is under video. It's under video. All my full versions under video. And on that's still the page and the name is Juice Pro 33, which is JUICE PRO 33. That's JUICE, excuse me, PRO 33. Um that is on Facebook. No, no, no. That's on YouTube, and that's on X, formerly known as Twitter. That's X, formerly known as Twitter, which is JUICEPRO33 as well. Now, you can also catch me on rumble.com, which is rumble.com/LKHYYM. That's rumble.com/LKHYYM, as well as patreon.com/LKHYYM. That's patreon.com/LKH, excuse me, YYM. All right. Now, for if you like to catch me on TikTok. Now, my TikToks is same as Instagram, which is LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE, but you start off with the at sign. That's at at LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE. And last but not least, for my TikTok, I have Michael the Juice Harris, which is at MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRI, excuse me, S. Again, that last TikTok, MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. Now, for the platforms for Zoom, if you'd like to get on, you can see them in my information as well. It was one I said I was going to put in tonight. Oh, yeah. I got to remember that too, to put it in. But other than that, you can also catch me on the nights my Zoom, which is Fight Fire with Truth, is on the night after Sunday at 9 p.m. Fight Fire with Truth is a night after Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, which is open conversation. Mikael's Knowledge of Truth, just like tonight, which is the night after Monday. That's Mikael's Knowledge of Truth, the night after Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Excuse me. Then also we have the Introductory to Solving Class of Knowledge. That's introduction, might as well say, to solving class of knowledge. The Introduction to Solving Classroom Knowledge is on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. That's 6 p.m. Eastern for those who want to get in. Please text or email me. Let me know you want to come in, and I will need your, if you can, text me your name, email, and your number. Your name, email, and number, because that way I like to know who all's coming in, and I can put you on the Google Calendar, and we'll go from there. Last but not least, to be determined for Wednesday. We're not going to speak on that right now because we haven't started, but that's to be determined. But on the Sabbath, again, we have the Sabbath Assembly of the Righteous. That's the Sabbath Assembly of the Righteous on the Sabbath at 12 p.m. noon. 12 p.m. noon. Other than that, I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. And I'm getting ready to say bye first since Instagram is about to go out. I thank you for your time, your patience. Let me see if I can catch you before you go out, just so I don't lose you in the archives. One more time. I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. Appreciate, love you. See you soon, and always. Peace. All right. Saved by the bell, might as well say. And there we go. You good right there. And over here on Facebook, I like to thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate, love you. Hope you enjoyed the information, and see you soon. Peace. Yeah, I'm about to get it out tonight, bro. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow night, or I'll see you on the Sabbath. Gonna say bye to my brother G1. You hold it down, bro, and I'll see you soon. Peace.